What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody?
You're now watching The Captain.
You're now watching episode 55 of the Captain's Lounge, but we've been going for a minute now. I'm joined with my boy JP as per the usual, and we have the other two old progenitors of the Captain's Lounge, Cyber Dad and Dad Pad Gaming. How are y'all doing, brothers?
Man, I can't complain, man. Feeling good, feeling blessed.
Damn,
I have
loud
an
as
axe
hell.
to grind. I have
good?
an axe to grind.
Go ahead, big dog. What you got?
I'm gonna let you drive.
Okay.
I got an axe to grind.
Yeah, I came here for a little bit of trouble, talk a little shit, but I ain't gonna lie. Perry feeling good, feeling great.
Edge audio.
I like that shirt, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's all.
Appreciate you.
They come from the what's that fucking the Nipsey shit.
Yeah, they came from my wife for Christmas.
A word.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Shout out to Auntie, man.
I'm
Hey, is this
definitely
a
wearing my
safe
all money in shirt right now, so you know.
Is this a safe space?
Hell no.
Always.
You know better than that.
So y'all know how I said I didn't like the beat on one track by this nigga Aubrey?
Mm-hmm.
Run to Atlanta has been on repeat in my fucking brain.
Hey, bro.
And it's not like it's like I'm like heavy on it. It's just that shit's just catchy.
It's just catchy. Like all his music now, it's just catchy.
It's just
like,
catchy.
It's just. I'm not saying
Get to the
it's.
second half of the song, yeah. Like I still do not like the first half of the song.
I don't either, but as soon as that beat dropped, I'm like, okay, this motherfucker G.
Good thing we didn't talk about that nigga Aubrey today.
Yeah, we didn't, but no, I just had to get that out. Safe space. But we got things to do.
Yeah, we got this to take care of.
I came here for some black blurred lines media content real quick.
Yeah, man. Y'all, today we talking about some video games. We are going to be discussing Xbox fucking up yet again, and something that I think a lot of us kind of saw coming. We had hope for things in the future, but before we get into the nitty-gritty, I do have a clip here for the people that do not know what the fuck is going on. This video is going to be able to explain everything a lot more smooth and concise than I will be able to, so we'll just react to this.
Xbox has been on one of the wildest rides of his entire life for the past couple of months. First, we had Phil Spencer, former CEO of Microsoft Gaming, officially retire from the company, with current CEO Asha Sharma stepping up to the position. People became very skeptical of her after learning that a lot of her previous work was with the company's AI division, fearing that she would actually aggressively push Xbox into a more AI-driven technology focus. Surprisingly, not only did she not do that, or at least not yet, but she has also implemented major changes such as decreasing the price of Game Pass for the first time in ever, and implementing rebrands and redesigns of Xbox name and logos to signal a return to a gaming first approach. Starting off really strong, all things considered. But as with any honeymoon, sooner or later has to come to an end, because over the last few days, Xbox has announced that they are downsizing a lot of their gaming projects, resulting in more developer layoffs and closures of game studios in order to give more focus to larger franchises. Notably, one of these studios that is now closed was Compulsion Games, the studio that created We Happy Few, and most recently, South of Midnight. I actually also recently learned won a Peabody Award, a narrative accolade that has only ever been won by the games Journey and Papers, Please. That's pretty impressive. So if Xbox has a studio under the wing that's actually able to put out literal award-winning games, why is it getting the axe?
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Charlie.
And that's what we're here to talk about. I have my mic muted. We are going to be discussing this more so because, especially this is this Xbox is not only having Compulsion Studios on the chopping block, but as well as Ninja Theory studio, in addition to Compulsion Games, that has produced 2 games that I, myself, and Greg were really big fans of. And I know as well that I know Nick played it as well. I know he got a while into it. No, I got it backwards. Nick played it first, and then Greg took forever to get to it. I forgot, my bad. And then Jay, I don't think Jay ever played South of Midnight. But outside of South of Midnight, I know Greg is a big fan of the Hellblade series. Again, both games that were really well received. Again, as my brother mentioned in the video, South of Midnight receiving a Peabody Award, something that no games ever do, period. So it spoke to the depths and quality of the game itself. So we're starting to see a lot, not just those 2 studios, but other studios that seem to be on the chopping block as well. Going into this, obviously, there was a lot of rumors very, very long ago with Xbox buying up Bethesda, I believe. Yes. And them just doing so in such a big magnitude that required a lot of money. And it was something that I think a lot of people understood that was going to take a little bit away from other places. And in spending all that money, it's kind of had them in this state of kind of backtracking the entire time since, where they've been looking for ways to cut corners. And you've heard devs that work for studios that are underneath the Xbox label now talking about how they have little cutbacks within the workplace. So you start to see little stuff like, hey, the food court area is not providing such and such, or this place is closing at 3 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock, or like resources within the place, like pins are being cut, little things here and there up until you get to this point that studios are being put on a chopping block. And it's really sad for the main aspect that these are people that are losing jobs. You have people in these fields in game development that already are very niche and that are very, very difficult to get into as it is, as far as 1, building up a resume, and then 2, actually being able to work within the field. And on top of that, now you're seeing studios that were making games that had a lot of artistry to them kind of going kaput. Now, before I give any more thoughts on it, what are y'all's immediate reactions to this?
So, Dad Pat, we're gonna work in tangent in this. So about a year ago, we did a podcast together. Said Game Pass is changing. We have a whole.
I think it was over. I think it was more than a year ago. It was.
Oh yeah, no years of change. I'm looking at it right now.
It had to be like what was like maybe 2023, 2024.
Yeah, like years from change with Game Pass in the trash, and we talked about how the mismanagement of Game Pass is going to affect these video game studios, and we've seen the first hand of this with Hi-Fi Rush. The only game during that year, I believe, from Xbox to win an award. Your award-winning game studio gets shut down. And this is just the results of Game Pass being not good for video game studios. And we've talked about this plenty of times. Like, the accessibility sounds good, but we're looking at the longevity of developers and studios. Do they have the bandwidth? I mean, do they have the legs to last long? Xbox ain't managing them to the point where they're producing something to make them last long. So I'm gonna let you cook off that, brother.
So I'm actually gonna pull back a little further than that. It is somewhere in the archives on Blur Lines Media, but I want to bring up, and I know you're gonna remember this conversation. The conversation that I had brought to light was there were, during the Activision acquisition, there were a bunch of documents that leaked and a lot of documents that were public because of the acquisition and the court case, everything that went with that.
Okay. Yeah.
With the Fair Trade Commission. Part of that was we got a lot of receipts for Game Pass. And I remember going through those receipts for Game Pass, and the receipts were as detailed as to tell you what the offers were for games on Game Pass over the span of an entire year. And I'm talking about making offers towards things like Baldur's Gate, Jedi Fallen Order, Madden, MLB The Show, so on and so forth. Like an entire year of blockbuster smashes that were laid out, planned for Game Pass. And that total came easily to like $1.5 billion. And I said back then that this was not sustainable. This was not good for games. It was not good for Game Pass. And we fast forward to the closing of Tango Works Studio that did Hi-Fi Rush, that also did, I believe they also did Ghostwire Tokyo, which was an extremely cool and stylish game if you ever tried it. And when that happened, weeks before that happened, maybe a week or two before that happened, we got Phil Spencer coming out. Oh, we're focused, and we want to focus on not these huge AAA, quadruple A games. We want to focus on smaller games that we can build into bigger games that can win awards now. Weeks later, they shut down their first award-winning game in years. Now we fast forward again to 2026, and here we are with this new initiative. They just fucking announced Senua. They just announced it. Game looks awesome. Now, Perry, I don't know if you remember this, but when I found out that Ninja Theory was being bought by Microsoft, I told you they had no business buying them because this was going to happen. This was years ago.
You was fearful for it. You was actually fearful for this acquisition.
Because I saw the shit coming from a mile away, but I digress. My issue is now here we are, we're shutting down Double Fine, one of the only games to actually release a Game of the Year nominee for Xbox in the last 2 years with Psychonauts. We're shutting down fucking Compulsion, which is another award-winning game that just came out for you. We're shutting down potentially Ninja Theory, that has one of the hottest new IPs that you have in your stable right now. And we don't have anything to fucking show for it. The thing is, I think Xbox has their wires crossed so bad right now that they don't understand how far they are out of this race. The only way that you save the Xbox brand at this point is not to shut down studios, but it's for them to make a pivot, even if it's temporary. I understand if they want to be in the hardware race and they want to be in the digital front, because 30% off of every game is a wonderful proposition for any company.
Yeah.
They need to pivot towards maybe skipping a generation, or if they don't fully skip whatever the PS6 generation is, just drop a streaming box for a generation. Give us direct connection to Game Pass. Maybe make that box really affordable. We don't need a lot of RAM in it, which is like the one reason we cannot buy and make new consoles right now is because Microsoft and all these other asshole companies wanted to invest into AI. Give us the streaming box. Make that bitch $200, $300. Give it just enough oomph to where it doesn't come out looking like shit when you want to stream on your TV.
Right.
Give us Game Pass for a subscription and make great games and put those bitches out everywhere, reap the benefits, come back in the next generation.
Yeah.
I don't right now, this idea of we could assume there's maybe 15 million, 20 million Xbox Series X's and S's in the wild right now. Do you really think them putting Gears of War exclusive to Xbox is going to move the needle enough to make this worthwhile in the long run for them?
Absolutely not. No, it's not a console selling game. Even though it looks amazing, it's not a console leading selling video game. And I agree to a certain point. My personal opinion, we're actually really good on the fidelity on how graphics look on video games. So I think they should strictly focus on developing video games that people are wanting to buy strictly for that console. Not saying that they outright buy the studio. Just give them, hey, we got first dibs on the launch of this game for a period of time, then it can be released anywhere. You have to make up where you're losing. Game Pass is hurting pockets to the point where Microsoft wants to go ahead and separate from Xbox. So that's conversation that's being had, and you're seeing how mismanagement affects the gaming industry as a whole. So my biggest thing is this is affecting people who had a dream, had a drive to develop video games, and Xbox is killing them. And people were fearful for the new CEO of Xbox actually doing this, and this is just business, y'all. She is the scapegoat for Phil Spencer's mismanagement of everything.
So it didn't matter who was here. This is what it was going to be regardless.
So Phil Spencer, his whole thing was that, and I think her name's Sarah. The
Asha. Fuck, I'm like, I'll look it up. Give me a second. I know it's Asha.
Are you talking about the new one, right?
No, not Asha, the black lady.
You're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. Not Sarah. I forgot her name.
Sarah, I can't remember her last name. They were trying to put all of Phil's. I can't recall at this moment, but I know they wanted. She was another scapegoat. She did her best as far as marketing what she had.
Sarah Bond.
Sarah Bond, yes.
There you go, Sarah Bond, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I appreciate you. Thank you. So as of right now, this is the unfolding of bad management from Phil Spencer. And then I see a comment that I want to address from Screwface Capone.
Yeah, shout out to Dominic.
Her comment was, worst part about this is the anti-woke crowd complain about anything. And hold on, I'm mismentioned. Worst part about this is the anti-woke crowd is going to talk about how this means get woke or go broke, and all that extra. And this is, again, the unwashed ass being the vocal minority. I don't know if y'all know. Do you know that 49% of all gamers are women?
That didn't surprise me. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
So the smellies are loud about something that they never was going to try to begin with. So why are you cheering on for something that's failing that you wasn't going to try or even put time in to investigate or see if you liked it at all? Because once I see people who say, I actually gave this game a try, they enjoy the story. And they all say the same thing. Mechanically, there's nothing innovating about the game. It's kind of basic. It was the storytelling and being immersed in that world. But y'all want to be
absolutely
ashy gods who are angry and punch other people for no reason. But you think that's reality. You think that's facts. You think Kratos was actually in Greek mythology, but I digress. Y'all need soap. You need water. You need grass.
Some additional information before you go, Jay. For Compulsion, I think their head or their CEO, or whatever it may be, I think a month or two ago, he put up a post on LinkedIn requesting and looking for new developers. So it seemed as though they were gearing up for a new game. That new game had already been greenlit that they were going to do, and this comes like not too soon after. So it seems like this is obviously the Hellblade game that Greg mentioned. Like they're just killing all the games who they were already working on as well.
Yeah. To throw that in there, because we haven't really spoke on it either, but Arcane is also on the chopping block, who did Deathloop, who did Dishonored 1 and 2, and is currently supposed to be working on the Blade game.
Oh, I forgot about that shit. And you know what's crazy? The head has been tweeting all kinds of shit about him being hyped to work on it. And, oh my God, we ain't getting that Blade game. They just don't. Niggas can't have shit. Fuck.
No, and
Blade movie gone. Blade character gets no cosmetics. Blade video game.
Blade sucks and raw. Yeah,
no Blade comic. Well, we got a Blade comic, but never mind. I digress. Go ahead.
This is a prime example, and I'm not saying this just because I'm an Xbox guy. Just like this is another failure of how capitalism can erode innovation, actually good creative art, in the pursuit of just making money. I mean, I just read on top of what Perry said about Xbox kind of being spent off from Microsoft as a whole. The CEO's been saying, well, the past 25 years, we haven't really seen Xbox as like an economically sound department. We're going to make sure that it makes sense financially now. I'm just like, that is red flags, because now all they're going to do is just make sure, okay, how can I make the most money? Well, I can make the most money on what? COD, Fallout, maybe Elder Scrolls, if that ever fucking comes out. And you can tell that they're only investing in. They have, I don't know if this is Phil Spencer's fault, I don't know whose fault it is, but I think they will never admit this. But I think Microsoft hate that they bought Acquisition. I think they hate it. I think in hindsight, they've hated how much money they put into this, because they really thought, oh man, we're going to buy COD and all this stuff from it. Having all these studios is like, if PlayStation has made better games, we're simply just going to have more mass to where they can't have those games. It's going to be under our department. I think that strategy fucking failed, because I think they realized that, and they're just like, well, financially we can't sustain all these studios. Something has to get cut, and they're not going to cut fucking all the developers from COD. COD makes too much money for them. So what are they going to cut? They're going to cut the small people, which funny enough makes the games that actually people want to play right now. Most of the biggest games that people enjoy right now are these small indie games. Nobody likes COD anymore, respectfully. Nobody really gives a fuck about that.
I mean, not like COD that much publicly, but it's literally one of the
it's the default.
It's a
Right.
money making game. So like
Well, right.
their biggest hole, honestly, was buying Bethesda.
That too, yeah. Yeah.
Like Bethesda, regardless of how much of a fanboy I am for Elder Scrolls series, they're not making you any money.
Yeah, 'cause-
They roll out games slower than Kendrick and Nas put out a fucking album.
yeah, and then since they bought them, what did they drop? They dropped what, Starfield, and I like Starfield, but the public persona is like nobody liked that game. The game sucked. So just like, and then what else? Like, I don't know. You got Fallout.
There's been a few. I mean, because the thing is, when they got Bethesda, it wasn't just Bethesda; it was like ZeniMax as a whole.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But still not nearly enough to see a return from that.
Right.
You know,
there's a
but
quote.
we said they didn't have any business behind ZeniMax either.
We did, and I have a quote that I've seen where this ties in to what Xbox mentality and how they're going to go forward. We've been in a little bit of too romantic about the idea that we should have employees and give people long-term job security. Mariah Sayans. This is a game studio owner that is quoting, talking about game developers and their, having employees for game studios. They want contractors. That's where they want to see money. So the people that have the power that be get all the money, and contractors get what they can and go to the next project and leave it alone. That's where we are.
That's one to reconfirm that too. And I think I brought it up in the stream before. When I went to DC to deliver a petition to the treasurer in regards to fighting the EA acquisition, the EA acquisition by Jared Kushner and Saudi Crown Royalty, along with us, we had some people that were former, oh my God, was it Bethesda? They were former game devs at Bethesda or Bungie. I'm tweaking. Know what? I think it was Bethesda. And they were discussing how, again, when they first came in, the owner, everything was great. The culture was amazing. They were breaking all kinds of records with regards to financial generation each quarter or whatever it may be. And then once they were bought out, they brought in people who then made things very much so monetarily focused. And you saw, even though they were continuing to break records and make more money quarterly, every quarter they were cutting teams, cutting people off. People were just getting fired. And they were consolidating, that magical word when it comes to corporations, consolidation. They were making teams smaller and smaller, so they were having people pick up more slack for everybody else they were firing. Yet they were continuing to make more money. And that in itself, I guess, makes it's horrible in the idea that again, this is a very niche field as a whole, and it's very difficult to get into it. Like, for you to be a game dev and get on with the developmental studio and do this shit full time is very difficult to do. So you get there, you feel like you take this sigh of relief that, like, I finally did it, just for your job to be on the chopping block all the fucking time. And you would think you have some safety in a smaller studio, but again, with Xbox buying up all these relatively smaller studios, it makes my skin crawl. Because then when you look across the pond at PlayStation, although they have their own issues, they have at least to my perspective, they have a pretty solid model in regards to how they roll out games. They have a couple big studios that turn out the big shit. But for the most part, they have a few studios that get their flagship stuff out there. The Ghosts, the Spider-Mans, the Wolverines, the things that are going to be console sellers, to Nick's point. And they spend most of their money there, and then they have their mistakes in some other places in regards to the Bungie shit, because I feel like Bungie shutting down Destiny 2 was a little bit premeditated. Not premeditated. It was a little.
That was management.
Come on, the Warframe, brothers.
Yeah. That was PlayStation. That was Bungie. When you look at the paper, it's fucking Bungie doing that, and it's just
But a lot of that happened with Bungie is just as the residuals of what happened before they were bought by Sony.
Because they were skewing numbers and shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. A lot of that is like, it's been indicative that, I forget what his name is, but the guy that was the CEO before they sold out did a lot of shit to inflate numbers to make Bungie look a lot more attractive for the sale before he got out. So
that is, and by God, that is. I'm gonna hold my comments to myself. This is a public platform.
But to your point, Greg, I think where they can bounce back is by making the Xbox more affordable. If they become the affordable console, in this generation, to your point, they can make a console that is a stream machine, essentially. That is, if they can make a console that is going to be what people hoped the Steam machine was going to be, this thing that could be $200-ish and that you can get a lot of games for, and that you can get a kid for Christmas and parents not have to break the bank on. They could recover in that fashion, because you're not going to beat PlayStation in regards to the AAA titles, because you don't have anything that's standing up to a Wolverine or a Ghost or anything of that sort, that nature, especially with God of War Laofe being around the corner or other God of War games. You're not going to beat Nintendo out on all the cozy games straight up, or just even the legacy they have there. So it's
Not Nintendo at all.
The only market you have is the affordable market. But again, they are such a massive corporation. They're not trying to make things affordable.
But I will say, to your point, my fault, G, the wide open the market is AA games. Stop spending hundreds of millions of dollars to develop these games and get some of these indie titles. Neva, like titles like those are really good. Video platforming games are amazing. You make those look really good. Those are really good games. You don't need to spend $100 million to develop a fucking video game at all. You don't have to be the Hideo Kojimas. You don't have to be Insomniac. You don't have to be Santa Monica. You can just be a in-between game of these bigger titles. They are fine. That's what the PlayStation 2, and a little bit of the PlayStation 3, even the early Xbox had. AA games in between the big AAA games were what made gaming so much fun, where people talked about, I remember playing this, like, Taxi. Or the Simpsons Taxi. Like,
oh my God.
Those little in-betweens were fun as shit.
Yeah, they're fun. Memories, man. And those things stick to you too. And they can do that. And they really can. But I think, what's funny, y'all, you just said something, and it's almost similar with movies, where like movie executives are like, how is Obsession and these movies that have less than $1 million budget doing so well? Because, like, nigga, you don't have to throw all this money, $300 million at a Star Wars movie. People just want good shit. Like, people will go to the stuff that's good. And like Microsoft, y'all, and I just would never understand this. You want Xbox to be profitable. Y'all niggas own Windows. Y'all are one of the biggest. Y'all are a top 5 company in the world. Y'all can take a loss. Even with all the losses that y'all take from Xbox, y'all still make multi-billion-dollar profit. If you if you're going to be, if you're putting software out there, you telling people, they just changed the logo. Hey, we're back. We got exclusives back. If y'all really niggas going to really be in here, y'all should make that jump to where it is affordable, to where you are in those in-between games, because you don't need the money anyway. That's why, like, the whole, like, you got to make a profit will always just fucking kill me. Because it's just like, y'all already make a profit. So the goal here is to cut studios to make what, an extra $1 million or more in profit? Like, it just blows my mind that this greed is so inherently intrinsic into Microsoft and other companies as well. Obviously, you feel like you need to just, the goal is we got to make more this year than last year. How do we do that? Instead of just, like, I don't know, doing things that could help out the common consumer, let me just cut studios. Let me just cut developers.
Right.
It's just
so
frustrating.
The issue that we're having here, though, is because, and who was it? It was I think it was Action Pack that said it in the chat. Microsoft wanted to be the new Steam, and Action Pack was not wrong, because that's what the goal of Game Pass initially was. Yeah, but instead of them building it brick by brick, Steam didn't become Steam overnight.
No,
what they tried to do is they tried to say, all right, well, we're attached to Microsoft, we got more money. What are we going to do? We're going to buy more Game Pass. We're going to buy more Game Pass. We're going to buy more Game Pass. We're going to buy more studios. We're going to buy more Game Pass. And the issue that comes in right now, JP, is exactly where you are. You were right. But the issue is Microsoft has come to a point now where they are holding Xbox accountable after pouring billions of dollars into Microsoft year over year over year. They're no longer willing to take this Xbox and be like, all right, well, because of the AI markets, we can make these Xboxes for $1,000. Maybe we can take a couple $100 hit on them, sell them for, I don't know, $600, which is still crazy, but that's probably what we're looking at, $600 minimum for whatever the next generation is until RAM costs come down. They can no longer and will no longer do that, because at this point they feel like they've already hit their limit. They've already expensed it. And I'm telling you, if we don't see Xbox spun off into its own company, the only other thing that I can imagine is going to happen is they're just going to shut down the entire division. Like I don't see it. I think that they are going to spin them off, or they are trying to trim fat to get them ready to be sold elsewhere. But I just don't see it anymore. They've spent too much money, and they're hemorrhaging blood. They're hemorrhaging money. It's everywhere, and they know that. And that's the number one thing that the document said was that we have spent over $20 billion. Would you imagine, no matter how big Microsoft is, would you imagine any company throwing $20 billion at something and then it not working?
Like recall cars that look like Roblox built cars.
Yeah. I mean, but it's like, their strategy should never have been, we have more money. That should have never been the strategy.
No.
Now we are, and it's crumbling.
Real quick, just content creator stuff. Y'all got 19 of y'all watching live, and I'm thanking all 19 of y'all for being here. But we only got 9 likes. Let's try to, balance that little ratio out for your boy. If y'all still here, it means y'all liking it. So, show me that in a like ratio. But to JP's point, and it's something that, because you brought up in comparison to comparing it to movies, and I think we've discussed it a lot in regards to studios having all the numbers and proof in the world that they need to invest into the smaller indie studios, and not even just in acquiring them, but at bare minimum, like finding a way to invest into these games that are low risk, high reward, and let them do their thing. Because for the amount of money you spent buying the whole studio, or at bare minimum buying like all the studios, you could have bought maybe like 1 or 2 studios that have a track record of making really good indie games, and you could have put a fraction of that money into them, and they could have produced a lot more games for you. Because when you look at it, and for whatever reason, the numbers are there, but it's still taking its time. Like we talked about Obsession, a lot of other indie films, especially horror films that have come out, and it's still a thing of like, unless you're A24 or you are a content creator who was able to generate the funds to produce that film and then worry getting a distribution deal, studios like Paramount or other larger studios still aren't really investing in a lot of those movies quite yet. And as much as we've gotten a game like Expedition 33, I'm not seeing too many studios invest in smaller indie games that could yield you a generational title like a Expedition 33. I don't know what it is and why they're dragging their feet, but the numbers and the numbers are there. Like numerically and statistically, it should make sense because again, it's low cost, high reward because you're not having to invest that much.
Yeah, it's Greg, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It is literally the unwashed ass community being very vocal, and then microtransactions. How can they profit off this and the longevity of things?
Yes,
and that is the cancer of what's going on. Like, do I mind buying certain things on certain video games? Absolutely not. Especially if I'm enjoying it. Like 2XKO, I got certain characters. I don't mind spending a couple dollars here and there because I'm enjoying the game. If I'm enjoying it and I can work towards it, I'm going to invest into it because there are studios like with South of Midnight. I bought the game. I played it on Xbox Game Pass and I bought it on PlayStation because I want to support that studio. I don't know what the fear is of being vocal of supporting smaller things or new ideas when the numbers are there. The new generation of kids need to be introduced to fund this. Like, I mean, the formula is right there in front of you. Nintendo. They don't give a fuck about how anyone feels. They never do. They don't change. They like, this is what we're doing. You're going to buy it, and you're going to like it. I swear to God, Mighty Keith did it with Sword and Shield. They had a boycott. 16 million copies sold in a weekend, boo-boo. How did that boycott go, you silly bitch? So you need to find your niche. You need to go ahead and be, to me, like really go into artistic value and produce games, not just to throw face at like the smelly community, but be creative with it. Just be like, damn, this is new. Yeah. Expedition 33 musically, I think was by far the best sounding game I ever heard in my life. And then playing Stellar Blade. Yeah, there's for Gooners, but that game's like
that music was amazing. That shit too. I ain't gonna hold you.
Amazing. So like start investing in these smaller projects where it's like Neva, again, a beautiful 6 to 7 hour game. I talked to Greg about it the entire time I was playing it. an absolutely fun, immersive game that you can play with your kids. And since we're older now, old niggas, old niggas come with me. Let me, old niggas, come here.
Me too.
Yeah, you too, bro. Come on.
Especially you,
Okay.
nigga. Especially
Come
you.
All niggas in line. All right, I'm in.
All old niggas, look at us. We ain't got it no more, player. We cool. It's time to get in the old nigga lane, play these games, and enjoy them for what they are. We don't got to keep up with the latest trend. We don't need to invest in this shit that like these young cats are doing. We can do our own lane. We can play the games because we're the generation that grew up with limitation of like our parents couldn't get it. Now we have the funds to buy it. We can absolutely be the generation of being vocal enough to really be like, okay, this is how I'm going about things now. This is my solo playing game that I do here. This is my kid playing game where I'm being vocal and I'm actually talking about these games where I'm like, we have the community. It's out there. I'm telling you, again, I sent you a link to an old cat where we sitting there sending playlists to music, talking video games and stuff like that. We have that community. We just have to lead it at this point in time and just not complain about it because there are so many indie developers out there that are begging for a chance to just be on someone's stream to play the game.
You know what's crazy? You mean to that point, even niggas that are in me and Jordan's generation and younger, we still should be buying this shit because we don't have the money to be buying these games with. Like, economically speaking, and from the general amount of income we're able to generate, like depending on, unless you have like you're an outlier, you have a crazy good job out of college, you don't got the money to buy them games either. Because funny enough, the niggas that have the most buying power as far as the age demographic are y'all. Like millennials, y'all spend the most money on video games. So y'all's dollar dictates the market more so than ours will. Now, granted, I feel like maybe microtransactions maybe skews more in our realm just because I feel like as younger, you have more time. You don't have as many responsibilities in regards to kids or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of that does also account to fucking Roblox and Fortnite. And there's one more. What's that other game that kids like? And Minecraft. Like, because a lot of kids play those and just stay there.
They don't fucking move.
Like, So what I would say very quickly, I already know where Perry's going to go with that. Where Nintendo is comfortable in the gaming market, kind of being the gateway drug for kids to get into gaming and families to get into gaming. Roblox, Fortnite, and Minecraft, unfortunately, are like the exact opposite. They are platforms that are created to lock you into them, keep you in them, and they don't want you to leave to go experience other things. I wish they would die. Sorry, Minecraft fans, but it is.
You are under an umbrella over the worst structure payment infrastructure I've ever witnessed in my life at Roblox. That's a stream on its own, but continue, Charlie. I'm sorry.
I agree to kind of further Greg's point. And I talked about this with Jay the other day. We are in a point in time in which people in studios, mostly studios, are under the belief that like I need to make a game and I need to expand the lifespan, the life of that game as long as possible. I grew up in an era where like a game comes out, it's maybe like 20, 30 hours. You play it, you beat it, you move on. Maybe every now and then you go back and replay that game, but you beat it and you move on to the next game. Games don't have to last 5+ years in their lifespan. I can be someone that loves God of War, play the 2018 God of War, play Ragnarok, enjoy the experience, cry my eyes out from how emotionally gripping the story is, and then move on to another game. But there's such a focus on putting out a game like a Rivals or whatever it may be, or a Destiny 2, and the game having to last like 10+ years so we can just drain every single penny from your wallet as possible. When you could arguably probably follow this. I feel like, again, numbers probably skew a different way. There's probably such a predatory system set up now. Maybe this may not be the case, but I feel like you can emulate as the same like profit if you put out a bunch of really made well smaller games. Like if let's say Xbox in a year put out maybe like 10 games that were only like 20 hours long. They came from like smaller indie studios, and you put out maybe like you spend
so like 10 Expedition 33s essentially.
Essentially, you can have a game because Expedition 33 we talked about was made in a studio where there was like 33, 60 something ish people in that dev team.
It was 30 people plus like a handful of contractors. I think it ended up being like 50 people total. And
even when you look at the music, right? The music was a random dude that they found on SoundCloud or some shit like that. Like you can spend a minute amount of money and get a game of that quality, if as long as you believe in the team. But I think they are under the belief that like in order for them to make a single player experience like that, they have to do what Santa Monica does. They have to have all the money. They have to go overseas to a Nordic fucking cathedral and get a Scandinavian throat band to sing their theme song and shit. I'm like, okay. Although those both are great, but if you got something that is arguably on par, if not better in a lot of different assets or different ways, for a fraction of the cost, bro.
Scandinavian throat band is fucking.
Did you see the bio video they did for it? Forgot what one?
I saw it, but it just sounds so bad when you say that out loud.
That's the nigga that's been in choirs and I've seen that kind of music before. That's just, bruh, it kills me. It kills me.
Terrible.
There's one question if they can ask it in chat, and I think it's good for the panel. What console/generation do you think is the peak of gaming?
That PS3 360 era, I feel like.
360, that was the perfect era. People were just getting online, like 360. Xbox was real hungry at that point because to y'all's point earlier about affordability. Mm-hmm. I remember I had a PlayStation 2, loved it. I had like over 200 games. I still have it in my closet in my childhood bedroom. And I remember
it was raised correctly.
Yes, love like Ape Escape 2 and 3. That was my shit, man. Very small random indie game, but I remember 2006, 2007, watching it like on my desktop PC that probably had a virus on there because my sister was burning CDs, allegedly.
LimeWire.
LimeWire. Yeah. I'm on there. I see, PlayStation 3 announced. Oh my God, Mom! Mind you, y'all, this is a year before the whole financial crisis happened, so we ain't had that much money. When they said that shit was $500 in 2007, my mom was like, I don't know if that's gonna work, G. And I was just like, well, I'm trying to figure out, was there anything else out there? And lo and behold, the 360 was like, hey, I think around that time, like the white one, because you remember there was like an arcade version that had no storage. There was the regular one. There was like the Elite that was like the black one.
Yeah.
And it was like I think the most expensive one was the Elite. It was only like $350.
Yeah, that shit was cheaper on the military base, by the way. My granddad got hold of that shit for the Lowski.
Really? Yeah. So like
PX.
my mom was like, I told my mom, I was like, hey, like I can get this Xbox. And like, I've been with Xbox ever since. So just to see how hungry they were then to now, it's just like, it's really frustrating to me.
Now, I will say, that's just from a communal aspect of like online gameplay and stuff. If I'm looking at like, from my personal opinion, like the peak of games that were dropped, like the variety and how depth they were and how fun they were, PS2 era was probably, I ain't go hold you, like the amount of like greatest hits games or games that were like, because I remember I talked about it with y'all the other day. What was that shit called? Oh my God. I talked about it and y'all, I had to get it allegedly got it for an emulator. Shining Sword EXA, like random, either like Japanese developed games or even some games from over here that were amazing. Yu-Gi-Oh games. Like there was just a million different types of games that were all for like there was effort put into them. I just didn't get the next generation per se.
So let me just quickly say, like, I think because in the PlayStation 2, like if y'all know there's a trend with all these companies, especially as we like move towards this like the late stage, like in this system, there's a niche thing. You can tell that it's this niche thing that people do on the side that the big CEOs rivering their companies like, hey, like when the original Xbox or PlayStation, whatever came out, literally Bill Gates was like, hey, I don't care about this, whatever the case may be. I don't see any money being made for this, whatever. So people were able actually to focus, and you can see the love and the passion into it. Because there was nobody over their heads that were like, well, you got to do it this, and this. But then if you notice as well, a lot of things, as things get more popular and people feel like there's an opportunity to make money from it, that's when these big, like, CEOs come in who've never played these games, never cared about this stuff. We're like, hey, I see that a lot of people are playing it. We can make some money from this. And that's when it all goes downhill because now these developers have pressure on their shoulders to not actually give you a good product of what they envision. Now they got to meet deadlines. Now, we've all been at work time to time where like there's a project you have to do and your boss is like, well, here's this project. I promise you, if it's all encompassing, it's going to be a lot better product if you had 6 months compared to 2 weeks. But then they mad at you if you don't finish what you have to finish. So like, it's going to be done in 2 weeks, but it's not going to be as good as you expected.
Yeah.
So like, you see all these games and Charlie's helped me out with this, where it's like, there are people who shit on when bad games come out lately. I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to excuse what happened, but most of these game devs are in the most craziest time crunch ever. So when people are like,
absolutely.
man, I'm missing these old days, I'm just like, man, I remember on the PlayStation 2 when you saved a game, your save had its own custom icon.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, these niggas used to care. They used to care. That's what I'm saying.
Straight up.
And I still think they do. It's just like, but now it's not about your passions. It's about how much money you can make. So I think there's
America.
Nostalgia. Yeah, exactly. I know there's some nostalgia there, but I think there actually is an objective truth to the fact that that passion's gone, man. Not because it's not there, because we can't afford the luxury of taking our time on these things.
I agree. To answer the question, I definitely feel like I would say that the PS3, the 360, and the Wii generation would be the peak of gaming. And when you look at it, we see the infancy, we see the young children age of like the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. The 360 is like the awkward teen phase of gaming. I mean, the 64 and the PS1. It's like the awkward teen phase. People are trying to figure things out. You're discovering that you have a penis figuratively and a vagina and all these things. And
figuratively is crazy.
By PS2, it's like you're teenage, like we're graduating from high school. We kind of know what we want to do right now, but by the time that PS3 came out, it was kind of like everyone is going to look back at those young adult / college years and be like, man, what a fucking time. And like for me, I think that's what gaming was, because it's when gaming was reaching the meteoric popularity that it is at now. It is at a time that capitalism was not a thing. While it is not at the absolute peak of creativity, as games were so much cheaper, like in the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, PS1 generation, they were also cheap enough still within that era to be able to experiment and make these weird games where we got things like the Guitar Heroes, and we got things like Ragdoll Kung Fu, and we got cool Bomberman games and
Cart Niggas for Life.
But then we were still getting things like Sly Cooper, but then you could get The Last of Us and you could get Halo. Like, I think that was like the largest spread of mainstream AAA games, so still getting those really wonky, weird games. But then also that was like the real birth of those indie titles. So I have to put it there, man. Like, so much happened there that that really molded where we are now. Some for better, some for worse, because DLC was absolutely born in that era, and from DLC was born the microtransaction. So there's that.
Right. And for me, it's the same. And my last point for this Xbox, there's opportunity out there that I forgot to mention that you guys can capitalize on. The biggest cancer, one of the biggest other cancers in gaming to me, is people not enjoying video games. They're playing it as fastly as they can.
Can you say that again? Can you say that again?
People aren't enjoying video games anymore.
Weird spot right now. Like, really.
My bad. We cut out for a second. That's on me.
No, you're good. It's y'all. Will continue your point, because now they.
Yeah, Nick, reset what you just said.
Yeah,
my bad.
So like I was saying, people aren't enjoying video games anymore. Everything is about getting out the first one out as quickly as possible instead of enjoying the game. I have a backlog that Young Charles I've been playing, and I've been playing a variety of games. Young Charles ain't said shit about me not playing no games this year. Not one.
Nope.
Every time I'm talking, I'm like, hey man, the first Berserker is an amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing game, and I was able to go through it. Like, I avoided all spoilers. I was able to look towards builds towards the end. I'm like, this is a fun game. Going through Stellar Blade, and I'm like, why is there so much marketing on buy this game right now instead of, hey, let this game marinate. Let's talk about it and see, how it does in the market. And then once it marinates a AAA game, let's sprinkle some AA games in between.
If they're trying to, go ahead, my bad. Let me cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're good. There's an opportunity there to make video games again and allow people to marinate in those and just have fun. That's what video games are. I want to come home and just play the game and enjoy myself. Or when I get off work, I don't know. And this is for my brother still locked up in them chains. I'm doing what I can, brother. You shouldn't have to be on 2K worry about a nigga who spent money cheating.
Free us,
Free
man.
my people
Like-
from them bonds.
Like for
Take the
real.
shackles off my feet so I can dance.
Like people are taking this shit too serious. Like I know you can make money playing video games. That's great. But like I seen someone talk about MMORPGs. Just have fun playing those big in-depth games or playing games like that's why I don't play online fighting games anymore unless I'm playing with the bros because y'all be cheating for no reason. Like, bro, what does this give you? Like you go to a live tournament, you're getting waxed.
It's two things. It's one, studios treating gaming like fucking first week music sales of a new album, where we gotta maximize how much money we're making that first week so that hype is maximized. Because if not, then you end up getting treated like other studios were like, oh, if a game didn't have 1 million people playing for first day, now it's seen as a failure first week. And also, it's people just not wanting, nobody can enjoy being bad at something anymore. Because I don't even think this is just a gaming issue. I think this is any industry in which, especially like content creation, where you don't want to go through the ugly phase. Like if you're in a fight, if you're a fighting game fan, right? Like me, I remember hell, I'll go to 2K, right? Because when I learned how to play 2K and get good at 2K was when All-Star Team Up was still a thing in the game.
Oh yeah.
For people that aren't aware what All-Star Team Up was a mode in which you would load into a lobby with you and all your friends playing 5v5, and you would slide in at a position and you would pick any player from all-time players. You could get a range from Magic Johnson down to fucking Rajon Rondo. That was a 77 overall at the time, whatever it may be. And you would just go against you and your homies. And if you were getting cooked by your homie, they were going to let you know in a lot because you were going to get shit talking was going to fly back and forth. So I went through the fire of getting cooked and getting told I sucked for like weeks at a time. And so I just got better going through the shit. Same thing with fighting games or any other type of game. You're just going to suck off top. But now we're in this era where it's like, all right, as soon as the 2K drops, right, build videos are going out. The best build, the best crossover move, the best step back jumper, the best jump shot. So you hit 99.9% of your shots and you never miss a shot.
No
And
curiosity.
everybody does the same thing. So now you have this like build a win mentality. And now if you are a nigga that's not winning 90% of your matches, people don't even want to play with you because you seem like you suck.
Man.
When
Hey, you know what?
Everybody can't be that.
You
Somebody
see that
gotta suck.
you see that in Rivals too, because most of the niggas that play 2K and COD and stuff, their first hero shooter because of the Rivals IP or the Marvel IP is Marvel Rivals. So you'll see that, and Charlie, you've seen this too. You'll have one game where when we used to play comp, there'll be niggas that be like, oh yeah, you mess up one team fight or you didn't heal them this one time. It's like, oh, the game's over. Like it's just this mentality of like,
just give up.
Just give up. It's like if I don't get instant gratification, instant wins, 20 win streaks, then you're a bum ass nigga because it's never about me. It's never my fault. It's like so it's just you see that a lot, and it's like there used to be a joy in getting a game and
discovering.
Inside the game they
my
had a
God.
little paper instruction manual to tell you everything you need to know. And you will read that, and then you go in and you just kind of figure it out, man.
Nigga, I remember when I was playing this team up, nigga, I was cooking niggas with Jason Kidd. Nick's Jason Kidd. Oh,
Hey, bro.
nigga, Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd is crazy.
Nigga was like a
Crazy.
70 or 80 some overall, and I'm playing niggas with Steph Curry, fucking cooking niggas. But it was nowhere near the meta, and that nigga's jump shot was buns, but I was hitting niggas with all kinds of fucking floaters. But in the regular game now, I have to play within the meta, and I have to play a certain type of way, or I'm not going to win. Or I feel like I'm not going to win. So it's the whole thing, bro. That's a societal issue more so than just a gaming thing.
Yeah. It's a bigger.
We have to get back to gaming. That's what it is. We have to. We can. How can I say this? We can make the gaming community as successful as any Fortune 500 company out there, but it has to be curated and nurtured by the people that want to see it grow, that understands it. You can't. That's why I swear to God, that's why the esports will never see success in the United States. You cannot have corpo in there trying to put these people in homes, these gaming houses, and market the shit out of them, and have these kids play the way they play and get dog walked on global scales against these other teams over there overseas. Because they look at gaming differently. If you allow them to run it by giving them teachings of good business practices, then you can see a change in there. But it's conversations like this, I believe, that will see a turnaround that needs to continue to happen. I'll never forget the Game Awards of the lady who, I think she did Pong. She was part of that team. I shed
The original
tears.
Pong?
Yes, she was part of that team.
How old is she? God damn.
She was an older woman, but
Jesus
you've
Christ.
seen her. There's moments in gaming where it's like it's here. I remember in fighting games where we finally seen Tokido take the title at Evo, stood up with Akuma, turn his back around. People are shut, and he said fighting games are fun, and the announcers crying because that is true passion for video games. The hard work that goes into being good, naturally finding it out. I love when me and Greg found a fighting game that we love because I know me and him are about to put in work and we're gonna be in the dojo like fuck it, 1st to 10. And I'm like, oh, I know a combo like he's been working on. I can't get him, I can't let him get off. Or if I've been working, he noticed like, oh, he's trying to get this one move off, and we succeed against our rivals. Like that passion, y'all gaming companies nurture that from competitive play, from people wanting to dive into stories, being more intuitive with your community. That is that's your opportunity right there, Xbox. I'm done with y'all.
Yeah. So I'm gonna close out this gaming section with a brief story about two things here. Do you guys, and this kind of goes into really what JP and Perry are saying here, do you guys know what the largest IP, like the largest profiting IP in the world is?
Pokemon?
It is Pokemon.
I was gonna say Pokemon.
Do you know why Pokemon became as meteoric as it did?
Mimikyu, of course.
Was solely because of Discovery. As a kid who was around 8 years old at the time that Pokemon hit, and we were playing on our Game Boys, and someone hit the schoolyard with a Mew, and no one knew what the fuck it was. Somehow, because of Discovery, we found this missing no glitch Pokemon off the coast of Cinnabar that could duplicate and give you unlimited rare candies and master balls through exploration, through word of mouth, through kid to kid. Hey, my uncle works at Nintendo. My cousin works at Nintendo. He said that you have to get this truck, you have to hit cut, and that's where you get a Mew from. Through word of mouth, discovery, curiosity, mystery, Pokemon created a phenomena that is still going today. And also through Discovery, if you don't know what Moment 37 is, from Evo way back when in the early 2000s, this is the birth of esports. In Street Fighter 3, they had parries. It's like one of the first fighting games to have parries. The way that you do parry was a classic risk or reward. In Street Fighter, you press back to block. But when you block, you take a little bit of damage. So it'll help you, but you can lose. With Moment 37, what happens is with parries in the game, you press forward. The risk is you press forward, you time it wrong, you take a hit, you take all that damage. But on the flip side of things, if you time it right, which had to be like within like a 1/10 of a second, you would parry, you would negate all damage. Now, y'all know Chun-Li, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how fucking fast Chun-Li kicks.
Mm-hmm.
So Moment 37 shows Chun-Li in like one of the grand finals rounds of Street Fighter back in like 2000.
Charles, I've sent the link of Moment.
You have it?
I sent him the link.
Please.
Where'd you send it to me?
In his chat, in our chat right here.
Yes, play it. Because what happens is when you see this video, this is a bunch of niggas like off of someone's garage. This is literally video game competition discovery at its finest, in its infancy. And when you talk about discovery in video games and passion, this is the shit that has launched forward some of the most important shit in gaming ever. And we just need to take people out and bring discovery back in and bring passion back and let these fucking developers cook, man.
I got it right here.
This gives me chills.
Rare footage of Daigo actually angry. Justin's turtle style. Overcome Rao. Now on the verge of putting Daigo down 1-0.
Damn. Look at all those things just happy.
Like, now, again, understand, like, and there's a video out at, I think, Core A Gaming that explains how impossible that was. That happened at a time where people didn't even know it was possible for that to happen. And it happened on the first stage in fucking esports history and launched an entire subcategory of a fucking culture. Like, we need it back, man. Like, Microsoft, let these devs cook, lose a couple dollars. PlayStation, Nintendo, like, let the devs cook, man, please.
Be Cap God.
Part of it too, and I won't hop on along because we gotta get to the next topic. Content creators have a part to play in this too, because there's money involved in it. Niggas are trying to be the first to find everything in the game or the best thing in the game and drop it the day the game comes out or the day before the game comes out. And I remember when things like cheat codes would be like discovered randomly, or to your point with random Pokemon or just different things like that. I would learn about it in school. I would get it in a Game Informer magazine, or I would go to the Scholastic Book Fair and get a cheat code book and it'd be published in there.
Cheat code book, yeah.
And
I love those.
Them shits could be found. They could just be found. And now it's like, bruh, a new game drops. I remember this shit when Crimson Desert came out. I was just exhausted. When Crimson Desert came out, it was legit like the first day it came out. And again, I respect the buddy because I think he makes solid content, but sometimes he irritates me with shit like this. Joe Raptor is a content creator. Where this nigga's whole thing is like finding all the different like armors and secret things in the game. And Buddy had like the best armor, early armor in the game that you could get right now for levels, whatever it may be. And that nigga had that shit out like the day the game dropped. And I pre-ordered it. I'm just like,
we don't need that,
bruh. I didn't even watch the video. I saw the thumbnail and I was just like,
bro,
give it a day or so. And I get it because you're incentivized because you're making money from this. So this is your full-time job at this point. But I feel like that killed. And you see, you know what? The most indicative example of it right now, and I go back to basketball. I don't know if y'all saw any of the stuff around NBA The Run that was going on right now. It's it's supposed to be like a newer version.
I have to invest.
It's a newer arcade version of stuff. And quite literally, you see niggas from the 2K community immediately coming over and saying, the best lineup to do such and such to get steals. Run 5 Anthony Edwards or run Anthony Edward. Like, niggas are trying to meta the game already. Right? This is supposed to be an arcade game. And now you have niggas come over saying, well, it's too arcadey back. We want NBA the Street or da-da-da. I'm like, so you think this is too arcadey, so you want another arcade game? I'm like, this is supposed to be a fun thing you just do. You don't need to think too much into it.
Right.
I'm trying to get fucking Anthony Edwards to do backflip dunks, nigga. I'm not here to be realistic with the shit. I want to dunk on a nigga jumping from the half court and talk shit. I don't want to have to worry about counting my dribbles and being efficient with a step back or my shooting. Like, I'm just, bruh, it's stuff like that that kills me. And this is somebody that's an avid lover of basketball and basketball video games for most of my life. Like, played 2K since, I think the first 2K game I played was like 2K3 was one of the AI covers.
Yeah.
And
2K3. Oh, yeah, man.
Game, that shit. We can get into how 2K used to be good too, but that's a whole different conversation.
That's a whole different thing.
Let my brothers go from them chains.
Yeah, I'm at a point now. This nigga Perry.
We're done.
Oh yeah, I'm at a point now, and I can thank part of these niggas for it as well, because for the longest time, I would acknowledge how bad 2K was and just couldn't let that shit go. This year, when shit started getting bad and started getting real shady, I dropped that shit. When Rivals started playing with black folks and playing with Storm and shit and not giving niggas skins and being real fucking questionable with the Moon Girl shit, I dropped Rivals. At this point, I told niggas now I'm playing Warframe and I'm going through my back catalog until September hits, and then I'm going to be a broke nigga because I'm spending all the money on all these games.
Yeah. There's too many good games that any of these games piss you off at this point.
Shout out to Cap God. Odie Butcher is on the way.
To Cap God. Oh my God.
John Stewart, he asked, how much do you think Let's Plays on Twitch and YouTube change game enjoyment when a lot of people are just content watching and stuff? I think there was a point in time where those were needed. I think they still needed to an extent, because I know as a kid, for me to know what kind of game I wanted, I talked about it before. I only ever got video games 3 times a year. My birthday, Christmas, and if I got a really good report card, my mom would splurge and give me a video game. So throughout the year, I'm reading magazines and I'm watching Let's Plays to be like, all right, cool. I want this game. This game looks fun, so I know what I'm getting. I'm not like just buying it just because and hoping it's good. And I think there was a point in time where Let's Plays were fun because they were more performative than just, hey, I'm just going to show you all the best stuff now. Now it's like, nigga, the game drops and all the secret maps and locations are available day one. I think if Let's Plays are handled from a place of entertainment, then it can still be fun. I think most of the old YouTube concepts like long form videos and all kinds of other things can still be very much so viable if they're done in an entertainment way, not just in a way to be the best, most efficient thing possible.
Yeah, I agree. And to their point, what Let's Plays got me into MMOs. Got me playing Diablo. I see a group of people. I was like, because I want to be in the chat with the homies, but it's like, we have a goal. Let's play a couple hours together, dip out.
Right. And my last point to this, I know the last point is I don't think that's a gaming problem. I think that's a societal problem, because capitalism is made us believe that we can't just do anything just to do it. Like, you have to do it with a reason. You have to do it with a purpose. Like, I can't just like if I tell somebody right now, hey, I'm about to go take a walk around the park. Oh, you trying to get strong? You trying to work out? No, I just want to walk around the park. Man, you could be doing other things to better efficient your time. I'm just like, what happened to just like, I should be able just to do something as long as I'm taking care of everything else.
You gotta be a high value man, brother. You're not thinking straight.
I mean, see, that's where I come out of nowhere. It's like, I'm outside. You know, I'm walking. I'm gonna go beat my shit in front of this tree, nigga. Leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone.
Oh,
mind your fucking business.
But why do it that way when you can put it on OF and make money from it?
Oh my God!
Right. Time. Come on now,
JP. I want to sit down and talk to you about dead internet theory.
We could.
Yeah, that's a conversation.
We'll make that a topic for next week. That's
for next week. I want to talk about that. Yeah.
I just want to say real quick for you to say you was about to go beat behind the tree, and then the next statement you said was, JP, I want to talk to you. I didn't know what was coming. I'm so happy it was dead internet.
What was coming?
Oh, bro.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
Hey, yo.
Y'all niggas are diabolical.
Oh, man.
All right, man. Let's get into this next topic. Greg, I know you said you had a dip, right?
Right, yeah, I'm about to get to my dad and stuff, man. You guys have a great show. Thanks for having me again, Charlie. West Coast Soul, Midwest Coast Soul on Instagram, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Good day, folks.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
bro. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Man, that was a really good conversation, because this stream is already like an hour and we got 2 more topics to go through. Next up, we are going through something that's honestly, I'm getting a lot more invested in around conversation than I thought I would. And that is Streamer University. Before I say or we say anything, I want to show 2 clips of what Streamer University lines and meetups look like in Atlanta, Georgia. Because if you are not aware, for this time around with Streamer University, Kai Cenat was not only having online applications you could put in, but he was setting up tours essentially where he would go to certain cities and certain locations and do in-person applications where you could like be in front of Kai Cenat, give your application and your pitches to why you believe you should be in Streamer University. But this is what Atlanta looked like. It's just here's the first clip.
Oh God.
What you got going on? Holy moly, son. This man in a fucking stroller. What baby?
What the world? Where was this at?
This is in Atlanta. This was like, I think, near Midtown or GSU, I think.
I hope it was worth it for real. I mean, I hope it was worth it. I hope y'all get in. Got the YNs out here. That shit ain't piss you off?
First cut. Let me get next. Wait, you never cut hair before? I ain't never cut hair before. You're lying.
He cheated again. They got all the streams out here. I know that right. I ain't got my expressions up too high, but nothing like that. That's what you gotta do. Literally.
That was the most normal person there.
Before we say anything, I have clip number 2. This is the guy commentating on this shit. And this is closer to the location of where it was supposed to be at. Because there are people that aren't aware. Initially, the Atlanta location was supposed to happen, but because there's concern by the people that are the owners of the buildings and whatnot and the venues, they're worried about overpopulation and kind of just like chaos overall happening. So they canceled the meet. So they're gonna retime when they're gonna do the Atlanta version. But here's this one.
So this is Stream University applications for Atlanta, and it was straight chaos, right? They shut it down. I don't even think Kai pulled up. They shut it down. Bro, you have folks that were literally out there homeless, nowhere to go, spending their last money on flights just to get the potential to wait in a line. What do you think you think Atlanta you think you finna bulldog Atlanta? You think you finna bulldog the New York line, the LA line? Like, y'all are cloud chasing, bro. I'm telling y'all, there's nothing you could do. You're not getting in Stream University. I'm sorry. He tattooed Stream University, even though he's not getting in either. This, to me, is smarter than waiting in line. You're gonna have to think with your mind, and you're gonna have to create enough viral piece enough to garnish the energy to be able to stand out as an individual, but you're not. You're just gonna get posted on the Streaming U account, and they're gonna move on, right? The applicants are already set. Kai Cenat is using these people for promotion. It's easy. It's to build up the viewership. It's to build it. This is what you call, the applications are just hype, building up hype. None of y'all are getting in through these applications. It's all to build up the hype and the momentum to the event of Stream University that we will all tune into. So this is my opinion, you know?
All right, he's talking too much. For anyone that is not aware as well, nigga, more than likely, you were not going to get into Streaming University by going to these meetups. No. Kai, and again, you've seen like the streams and the clips you've seen of like some of the in-person meetups from creators that have already somewhat established. He already has an idea of who's gonna let in. Like, you're gonna have some smaller creators get in there, but this time around, to make sure that this is because again, at the end of the day, Streaming U is going to be a product. Like, it's going to be a stream that people need to be entertained by. They're going to make sure they get in creators that know what the fuck they're going in doing with the plan. And so there are a lot of people that are doing two things that are irritating the fuck out of me. One, these AI flyers, because niggas are making flyers and posters posting about them applying to Streaming U, and they all have the same AI prompt that they put in to get these flyers generated, and it looks really it looks terrible. Yep. To the point that Kai even himself was like, nigga, if you got an AI flyer, go to fuck home. You're not getting in. Secondly, you have people that have not created a lick of fucking content, not a video, not a short, in months, applying now to get in.
Right.
If you were not already doing content consistently, let's say you hypothetically get into Streamer U, right? Let's say you hypothetically get in there and you show out and then you actually get an audience and you blow up from Streamer U, right? Your audience is gonna die off really fucking fast because you weren't consistent beforehand. And you think you're gonna be consistent now with hundreds of thousands of people watching you. You think you're gonna have who you are as a content creator and the kind of content you make figured the fuck out in the moment. You're gonna figure that, no, my nigga, people are looking at this and streaming as this cheap lick that you can hit to get generational wealth. And I'm ready for the trend to die down, and I hope at some point it dies, because whenever I see niggas in public with phones and cameras set up, I get ill, because I'm like, you're not trying to create content. You're just doing random wild shit. Rather than be you disrespecting women in public, you trying to fucking be overly freaked out in public, you breaking shit just so that niggas can see you. And people take They take views from you doing crazy shit as people being fans of you. No, niggas wanting to see the downfall and the crash out. They do not give a fuck about who you are as an individual. They just want to see you do crazy shit and live vicariously through you. And it kills me. If you were not already making content consistently, don't do this shit. And I'm honestly, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, and it's gonna sound real nihilistic, and I promise y'all, for people that have talked to me about wanting to get in content and do content stuff, I always say, do it. Start. Consistency is key. The reality is, a lot of y'all niggas aren't gonna make it. Most niggas aren't gonna make it because you don't want to be consistent. You need to be okay with having like 5 to 10 people in your comment section or on your streams watching your videos for a while. It's going to take you years. For me to even get to the point to where this channel is the way it is, yes, I built this platform up in like 2 years, but I was doing podcasts and content shit for like 4 or 5 years before I even started this channel. I went into this channel with a better knowledge of how to create the content. And even then, I figured out a lot more shit as I was doing this shit. And it was a 2-year build up to 10K on YouTube. Some niggas pop up early because they do super viral shit, but for the most part, my journey is going to be what like most people's journeys looks like. You build up, you grow slowly, you have some shit that pops off, you network in the right way, and you grow your platform in your niche. And for niggas that are trying to jump into streaming, you're not even looking at the idea of like what that audience looks like. Because for me, I know my audience is mostly going to be niggas who are nerdy, who are ranging from like maybe early 20s to like late 40s probably. The audience that Kai Cenat has that's going to be attracted to streaming you is not going to be the same niggas that are going to be watching my content and interacting with my shit on a consistent basis.
You're not going to claim
so,
all niggas?
No. Well, I mean, that's kind of just in the medium. Granted, I ain't gonna be that for too much longer, nigga. Trust me. But I'll say all that to say you need to be consistent. Consistency is key. You need to learn how to grow. If people are always trying to learn a way to like jump the curve and jump the difficulty and jump the growth to just be the poppin' nigga online, be internet famous. You want to get to a point to where you're making money and you're paying other people to do your job for you. So all you have to do is show up, say some shit, and go home. At the end of the day, this shit looks like you building a consistent schedule. You learning how to make thumbnails without AI. You learning how to edit videos, or you learning how to stack money up so that you can pay an editor at a certain point. You learning how to do all this stuff and how to reinvent yourself making content is something that you have to learn how to do. The fact that I can do 2 streams a week and do 2 uploads a week is not an easy fucking feat. Me trying to figure out what to talk about, me trying to figure out a nuanced way to conversate, me trying to find perspectives that are unique to my own, that aren't like everybody else's to get videos out on, is not an easy thing to do. It comes somewhat naturally to me, but it's something that I work at and grinded towards for 2 years. And when I see people just trying to go about the way of just getting a quick route to success and a quick route to being in a position where they're full-time content creators, it irks my soul. Because I already see certain niggas who are already like popping that don't do shit. But for the most part, those creators don't last too long. If you want longevity and you want to see longevity in content creation, you look at the creators that have been around for a long time and you see just how many times they've reinvented themselves, reinvented their content, or even improved. You always find a way to improve at doing what you're doing. And this kills me. And I appreciate what Kai is attempting to do and what he has done, because he has put some people on and given people platforms. But when you look at the people that came out of streamer university and some of the niggas that have been problematic, like a Nina Lynn, where she's just constantly fucking having issues from being problematic or outright saying racist shit, it's you're giving a super boost to niggas who didn't need it because they didn't know how to fuck to act with the shit. But yeah. That's me. That's the end of my rant for it, because I've been seeing how this shit's gone around and just how people interact with online content stuff, and I've been able and been blessed to speak to a lot of creators that have been doing this for like a long time. Between Legend of Winning, between my boy Ernie Blur Without Fear, between my boy the Black Macedonian niggas that have been in the content game doing it full time for a decade plus. Like, I know what it looks like, and I've talked to them and seen what it looks like. And niggas are always trying to find a quick route there, trying to get the quick bag, and dude, you don't want longevity in this shit. I've been wanting to do content shit since I was a kid. I've been watching YouTube videos and wanting to do content and videos since I was in fucking elementary school. I'm not just randomly want to do this shit overnight because I saw Kai Cenat. I have a passion for it. You don't have a passion for it. You have a passion for money.
Right. And people got to find their lane for it, because that goes across all types of businesses. Like people who believe they will be the first trillionaire using AI to build AI slap platforms, but that's neither here nor there. Like, to your credit, you have been doing it for a while, bro. Like always pushing and always trying to get people together to the point where you went on your own. And your first really solo big project was your Power Rangers one. That shit blew up. That shit was amazing. And I commend you for your consistency. For me, I content create because it's a let out. I'm an older guy who plays video games, who really allows people to vent on my platform. Like, let's have topics we can talk about, because to a certain topic I can't wait to talk about, we don't have those areas where we can actually speak freely, because everyone is always thinking about, am I going to be demonetized? It's not my only source of income. This is a fun platform. A lot of people are trying to bank on it to become viral. I mean, what you gonna do after that? It's like you hit the lotto. What you gonna do with it, player? You're gonna run out of money. You're gonna be strung out. Yeah, it's gonna be back on the street. Now you're gonna be like, man, what happened? I hate that clout chasing is just as dangerous and as addictive as a fentanyl. And that's how I see it. It's bad. It's bad. It doesn't do anyone any justice. People put on a character on camera, but behind closed doors, you fight demons and you're trying to be entertaining. And it's like, that's not your lane. You see it because materialistic things are things that you think is going to make you happy. It's not. You're going to find to realize, like, time is the most valuable thing you have. Ain't gonna play no games. But like, I'm being honest with you, the young cats, like, y'all hungry, get to the bag. And if you get the bag, please listen to the older people who are trying to give you advice on how to manage your money. But again, you're not going to be young forever. You want to be able to do something with your money. Stop cloud chasing and actually build something. And there was that's what it is. To you too. How do you feel about other people saying that Kai and his community should be more vocal about the injustice that's going on in the world? Because my personal opinion is that's not their lane.
I get irritated. It goes the same way for when niggas want LeBron to be super informed on Chinese policy. You're asking niggas who do viral dances or play basketball since they were 15 to be the outspoken niggas on political issues when you have perfectly good activists and advocates who are informed and putting out content around the thing that you could rally behind. There are niggas who do the work and make their content covering that information, and you can go to them if you want accurate information. You trying to go to Kai Cenat or LeBron James for accurate information on the Israeli-Iran war is fucking asinine.
Yeah, and it's like times are different. The generous prior for civil rights movement, those kids were just, I mean, they were brought up. They would either had to do it then or nothing was going to change. And I commend that generation for what they done. We can't, to me, it's not their responsibility. It's not their calling. Now, should there be awareness? Absolutely. I think injustice everywhere should be an awareness for anyone to just know what's going on. Don't be blinded. Just be aware. But to use the platform to be vocal on that, I don't fault them for not doing that, because they don't give that type of energy. But also, I don't know what type of conversations they have behind closed doors. So we don't know if they're advocating for people to change. I don't know if they're advocating people to read a fucking book. So
best believe with niggas like, because even Kai, like, there's I'm not gonna speak for that niggas. I don't know his life. I've talked to people that have been like around him tangentially, but I don't know, bro, for real. I know with me, like, there's plenty of shit I talk about and do off stream because I know that I'm not the most versed in the details of that thing, and I don't want to put out misinformation. I'd rather Kai Cenat not say a single word about Iran or Israel than him get out there and say something that he maybe heard somewhere else and now he spread misinformation.
Yeah, it was not more on that grand scale. It was more on a local level.
Well, even if it's about that or like gerrymandering, fucking voter rights, voter suppression, like, because this is also a nigga who I've been on Kai's ass about certain shit when he niggas talking about Black Americans don't have culture like a couple years ago, because he is somebody he's Caribbean by nature. I think he's like he's second generation.
I'm no black.
Not Caribbean. No, he's like from the islands. He's like Trinidadian.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So like, you already know there's that whole thing of like Africans or other Black folks from outside of America look at Americans as not having culture while also participating in all the black culture in their own countries, like music and clothing and stuff, whatever it may be. They're doing all the shit there. But I'd rather that nigga, like, you could have just shut the fuck up because you were really wrong, but you jumped out of your fucking, outside of your fucking body to say some shit. And again, I don't have any issues with because the nigga's been growing. The nigga's been learning. One of the things I was irritated with niggas by when that nigga was talking about him wanting to read more and trying to learn how to read and learning how to read bigger words, and niggas are mad at that nigga for trying to learn how to read. And
our literacy rate is embarrassing.
Yeah. I've already showed you. I've showed both of y'all the videos of that nigga that goes around like with just like sentences on cards and is saying, asking them to read this shit, and it has simple words like silhouette or deity on it, and niggas they just can't say the fucking words. And I'm like, bro, this is fucking sad.
People can't read cursive.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
That's all. Yeah,
I could put it together. But cursive for me, that stopped when I was in school in 3rd grade.
Yeah,
they started to teach us cursive and stopped halfway through. So I barely learned how to do my signature.
Yep.
That was beating me. I went to a private school. I went to a boarding school, all black boarding school. It was beating me.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna act like I know how to fucking write a cursive like that. I can do my own name, and that's about it, big dog. Jay, what you got?
I don't got much on this. I think y'all both spoke volume of this. I think I would just add, I think about Nietzsche, the philosopher, a lot when he says God is not dead, because even if he was, people's faith and stuff was shifting to something so they can look up to anybody. So even as this country is less religious than it was 50 years ago, people will find their religion in something else. And for a lot of people, it's these celebrities. So they look to these celebrities to be like, hey, I need you to say the right things, do the right things. Because if I like you, I am a product of, I can't like you. People feel like if you like a certain person or a celebrity, that is a reflection on you. So it is asking a lot for a celebrity to be like, you speak on this, and this. Again, awareness, 100%. But to be like detailed, like on everything that's going on, that's not your job. Now, and I will say this, the only exception I'll make is when a celebrity is very vocal or make it a point to talk about stuff, and then they just randomly go like radio silent on something. Like Taylor Swift during the election season would be like, oh, vote blue and do all this. And because I care about this and I care about women's rights, I haven't heard shit from her in this Trump administration. Nothing. And it's just like, okay, you put yourself as a person, you said in your documentary, hey, I want to be the voice for
feminism.
Women. Yeah, and then like now we need, like when the world needed you most, nigga, you vanish. I'm just like, where you at?
The world didn't need her originally. That again, that's just another instance of white women co-opting a black movement started by black women.
Right. So
yeah. Go ahead, my bad.
But no, you're good. So like, yeah, it's, you know, to see all the streamer stuff, it feels very Willy Wonka golden ticket. You know, people are struggling right now. People need something. They're just like, hey man, if I get this one lottery ticket or this golden ticket, I can make it. And it's just like, well, if you wasn't doing that before, like the guy in the video said, I never cut hair before. Yeah, I could take you to a barber school. But like, if you don't have the passion for it, this ain't gonna work out. Okay, $70. Imagine you cut 50 heads a day. Like you do the math, like, or 20 heads a day. Even now, it's just like these people making money. So I'm not shocked about that $500,000 at all.
He gets flown out by Lance Stevenson. Like he got connects like that.
Oh, Vic Blends?
No, just I can't say his name.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I know him, but no, buddy making money. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're good. But yeah, y'all, this is just kind of sickening for me. I don't know, bro. I get real irritated with content creation stuff just because I see what I've coined the term StreamYard niggas. I see people who are throwing out a video of, let's say, you know what? I'll say the name because I don't give a fuck. Because buddy trash anyway. I don't give a fuck. When I look at niggas like Tyler Martin, right, the Godhood nigga, right, who doesn't do content at all. His whole thing is like grifting in comics and getting off the conservative right wing shit. And then when I see somebody like him then jump to YouTube on a YouTube channel and talk about, oh, I'm going to be consistent on YouTube now. I have to make sure we have to hold black indies accountable because you can't really say anything or blase, whatever it be. And this nigga hops on YouTube and is just being consistently putting out lists or dropping things and commenting on other people's shit in just real nasty ways. when it's pretty obvious that the nigga is trying to grift to get off a certain bag. And even to, Mr. A's point, even to the grifters who their whole thing is only reacting to grifters, right? If 90% of your content is only trying to fight back and make content around grifters, I'm also looking at you sideways. I mean, I'm not as mad because you're not spewing hateful rhetoric, but you're just engaging in the shit all the fucking time. Like, although we react to certain shit on here, I make it a point to where I try to have conversations around topics that are more nuanced and not just me outright reacting to a conservative take, especially if the conservative take is one that's been said over and over and over again. So when I see niggas take half efforts to make content and half efforts to try to get on, and you don't put in fucking work, I get irritated. If you're not even trying, like, let's say you're somebody, right? And I'm not saying that you can't ever use StreamYard as an avenue to create content. But if you are running the same StreamYard overlay, you're doing the same things, you're going into a stream with no kind of organization, no kind of show notes, nothing of the sort, you're just rambling for 4 hours straight for a stream, for a piece of content, you're considering that content, you're considering that transformative content, it irritates the fuck out of me. You're being lazy. Rather you're a grifter or you're not a grifter. Like, this shit requires structure, this shit requires consistency, and this shit requires effort. This is not an easy thing you can do. So even when I see people that are, let's say, people are part of old media, right? Because you see it a lot with sports media, where niggas are looking at somebody like a Kenny Beecham or other creators like that and saying, well, what are they doing different than I'm doing? I work at ESPN. Like, why do they have the audience and I don't have the audience? And you're seeing niggas like a Joy Taylor, or you're seeing niggas like Emmanuel Acho get their own YouTube channels and go to their own places and try to leverage that ESPN legacy they have, and they realize, oh, I don't have the backing of ESPN or Fox now. I have to get this shit out the mud myself. And you see them channels be struggling to get more views than I get. And you've been on the show with 30, 40,000 congruent live viewers that know who the fuck you are all the time. But you're struggling getting more views than a nigga that has never been on that kind of a platform, because this shit is not easy to do. And I fuck with Joy Taylor's stuff. I've watched Joy Taylor's interviews to an extent. I think she makes solid content, but thumbnails suck. Clips don't really go out there. And there's a lot of other things she can do to make her channel better, but she's always covering shit that's just not relevant for the most part. And she hasn't put in that work to build her shit up. So when I see her drop a video and that shit has 60 fucking views, I'm like, damn, the fuck? This is somebody that's been in like national news and had been on a show next to fucking, not Skip Bayless. Who the fuck was she on the show? Was it Skip? It was not Skip. Was it Shannon? Whichever one of the niggas she was on the show with. She was on ESPN for years. Big money for years. I see creators like that leave legacy media and they just don't know how to convert. You see on the music side too. You see niggas like what's Buddy's name? Fucking the DJ. Old light skinned nigga. Oh my god. Fuck. I'm blanking on his name. It'll come back to me later. But the niggas talking about being mad because they're not getting certain views on their show now. It's on YouTube. When you look at their shit, and it's like, you have money for not DJ Academic, no. My God, it'll come back to me later on. He's been in radio for a while now. He's a legacy act in radio. You're seeing him struggle, and the nigga's just mad at other smaller creators because he's struggling. You see it again back in the sports space. You see niggas having shows, right, where shout out to Gilbert Arenas, because that nigga was entertaining and covered basketball in an entertaining way. And when Underdog came in and scooped his shit from underneath him, and they pretty much replaced him with Skip Bayless, you see the numbers and views for fucking the arena now fucking dropping like fucking shit, like dropping like flies now. Where you got Kenyon Martin, Brandon Jennings, and fucking what's the other ball headed nigga's name in there? Oh my God, the dude is always the big LeBron hater. He's just oh my God, I'm thinking of this nigga's name. Rashad McCants. You see Rashad McCants in there and all the other niggas doing that shit now, and the numbers are just dropping because they're just saying shit. They're just doing shit. They're not, things are organized. Again, I'm rambling now, but my big point around all that was that people, when you go into this content stuff and things may seem impromptu, there's always planning behind it. The best content creators have some kind of plan behind it. You're not going to see a single live show I do on this channel that doesn't have show notes around it. Like, I make sure I'm on niggas that are on this show beforehand, like, hey, these are the topics, or hey, what topics should we talk about? And even when I get topics, sometimes I evaluate, like, all right, is this something that is going to make sense to talk about? Is this something that's going to be redundant? There have been topics on here that I probably would have done well on the internet, but I don't feel like just ragpiling on or virtue signaling about some bullshit. Like, we could have talked about the Drake fucking Jay-Z bullshit. I was like, no, I'm not getting on another fucking dump train talking about fucking Drake for the 1,000th time. I already talked about Drake enough on this channel. Just shitting on him. If it's not a nuanced conversation, I'm not doing that shit. It's this little stuff like that. But that's it for me. I've been on a rant for too long with this shit.
No, I mean, I resonate with a lot of what you're saying. It's just, and I think it's going to get worse. Like as stuff gets more expensive, people feel like, okay, the only one way I can make it is to do something crazy or explode. I'll see some, I genuinely believe people who turn MAGA that are black and alt-right, they do that for the grift too. Like it's going to get nasty out here, man, when people need money.
And them same niggas that do that grift have the nastiest. Let me stop. I ain't got kids. I'm about to get some people in trouble. Let me not say shit. Y'all ready to get to the last topic?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right,
Yeah, I'm
man.
ready. I'm here. I just don't want to be on camera right now.
Yeah, you're good. This is another follow-up, I guess, of us continuing topics that we've discussed here in the past. We funny enough, we talked about movies a lot in the past, but this particular topic in the Warner Brother and Paramount merger is something that we've discussed when it was first brought up on the channel, back when it was supposed to be Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers. And it's something we've kind of kept up with. And we have reached a new point in this whole journey and this whole timeline of things. And I want to let somebody explain it to you guys.
The Trump administration, through the Department of Justice, has basically approved or cleared the way for that massive and controversial media merger that you've probably heard so much about. We're talking about the over $100 billion deal by Paramount, controlled by MAGA allies, the Ellisons, to acquire CNN, HBO, and the entire Warner Brothers empire. Now, the DOJ conducted what they called 8 months of review, and they say on the evidence, they've concluded that this deal is not likely to have harm to competition or American consumers. So that is the formal process. But lurking behind all this are all the big names that you've been hearing about. Scott Pelley at 60 Minutes, The Colbert Show ending, the overt demands for censorship and favoritism by President Trump, his FCC chair, and others to try to use or abuse their government oversight, their power to regulate and to control potentially the outcome of these mergers, to demand or shake down the coverage they say they deserve or want.
So you're seeing in this deal now a combination of lawyers from, I believe, New York and DC. I believe there's, again, a couple of different places where they're doing this big class action suit now to kind of fight back against this deal and kind of speaking in the name of antitrust, which I'm glad somebody is trying to fight back against this, because looking at, especially, I don't know if you were tapped into the White House shit that was going on with MMA on the White House lawn. And there's a particular thing that happened in which Daniel Cormier had got a DM from Eric Trump, essentially trying to figure out if any of the fights were rigged and figuring out which fights were rigged so he could bet appropriately on them. And you saw Daniel Cormier leak that DM out, and then there was like a bunch of shit around saying it was AI DM and blah, 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 blah. And seeing just how, like, with something as big as the MMA was something that has been turned into like this real nasty thing that's being manipulated. And I'm looking at Warner Brothers, which is a company that has arguably the greatest collection of IP in history on the planet. When you're looking at the biggest movies, the biggest television shows, the biggest IP from DC to Cartoon Network stuff to whatever it may be. And you're seeing that they are acquiring that. And I'm seeing how you're handling the MMA and other shit you already own, like the last Airbender film with Paramount, and I'm saying you're about to acquire all this other shit in regards to Warner Brothers. It gives me fear of two things. One, quality, obviously, in regards to how bad these things are going to be, but two, narrative control in regards to silencing, in regards to certain things being controlled. Because you're looking at something like a DC, right, that is going to be owned underneath Warner Brothers, from DC Comics to DC Films to DC Movies, whatever it may be. There's already been a lot of issues around Black representation within DC, as you guys probably already know if you guys were following anything that's transpired over the last fucking 2 months. But now you're going to a point to where the Ellis brothers, who are not interested in any form or fashion about representation in any form or fashion, they're about to take this shit over. And I definitely have fear that they're going to look at something like DC Comics, for instance, and be like, yeah, no, all that black shit, all that trans shit, get that shit out of here. White men, white women that are being sexualized only. They're going to see shit going on with the gunverse, or that gun, I said the gunverse, going on with the DCU, and they're going to say, oh, Supergirl? And she's not Power Girl? She didn't have a boob window? Get that shit out of here. Bring
Yeah.
in Sydney Sweeney, nigga. What are you talking about?
God.
It's
Oh my
little shit
God.
like that where I'm like, I don't know how much control is going to be had over this. Now, obviously, money is a big determining factor of a lot of different things, but at the same time, we've seen Trump and his contemporaries be cool with money not being the end all be all. They're cool with taking L's financially as long as they're getting off a certain narrative and agenda just for the sake of doing it, whether it be this country or the entertainment within it. And that's what worries me a lot about this is that, again, you're having so many powerful and so many popular IPs being controlled by people who are actively in beliefs against what most of these things stand for. A lot of these IPs are anti-fascism. They're about exploration in self. They're about awakening. They're about freedom and a lot of different aspects depending on what it is. And you're having people control this shit. And it's just an issue that I see. And not even just the issue in this moment, because funny enough, Mr. A, you're talking about all that black-owned stuff. Do you not think that they're going to come for that stuff as well? Like, we know BET isn't owned by black folks now. That wasn't always the case. White people came for that too. If we're not setting a standard now in regards to what we're allowing in this stuff, nothing is safe, whether it be black owned or not. And if you think they'll have a matter in not selling this shit, best believe shit will get bought.
Yeah.
Shit will get bought. Nothing will be safe.
None. I mean, you see that even with the work you've done, Charlie, with the EA deal, like, you know, with the Saudis, like that has Trump's fingers with Jared Kushner all over as well. You know, TikTok with I forget about Oracle, who's also a Trump supporter. They're trying to put their fingers. This is where this is really funny too, because you talked about the money spending. Because these people believe in capitalism, but obviously they know what's more important than money is control and being able to control the narrative. So, I mean, I even heard a report that CNN, which is already not as liberal as people think it is, are going to put more conservative people on there, more conservative talking points. Like, there is no left thing in like public media. Now, media is most media, if we're talking about news specifically, is fully conservative. And what they want to do now is transfer that into our entertainment, because people don't watch the news anymore, but they watch movies and they watch TV shows and they play games. So they're trying to put and they watch short form content. So they're trying to put their fingers on all this, man. And I think that's why this is important to call these things out, acknowledge it, you know, do stuff in your community, vote. But like the most important thing is just the awareness of this. Like, this isn't just another merger. Like, and yeah, we shouldn't have mergers in the first place because we need competition. But they're not just trying to merge companies, they're trying to merge ideas into how we supposed to live, control the stories and everything. We've been talking about the game stuff earlier. You think Microsoft's been bad with the Xbox studios and game dev? Imagine, I can't imagine a scenario where James Gunn's like, hey, we're going to do this for Superman 2. And then once that merger goes through, oh, you can't do that. Like what's going to happen? Like, I assume James Gunn would just leave. But it's just like, these are the sort of things that are in front of mine as like these mergers continue to happen, specifically around Trump-based, MAGA-based folks owning these properties. So,
yeah,
it's
bro.
the best way to. Hey, I'm back. Any fight against this administration has been met with force. That's what it is. If you say anything wrong or bad about this administration, they're coming after you with full force, even with the announcement of even the thought of protesting against this administration was announced earlier this week, I believe yesterday, on the disagreements of how policies are being ran, on how ICE is being ran. So they're using anything to weaponize anyone that opposes them. Because as of right now, though it seems like they're doing a lot, they are the vocal minority. Globally, they are disliked. Nationally, there is so much fight back against what's going on that they're doing what they can to silence it. That's why certain platforms should be used for people to vent how they should, what they think, how they should feel. There's an app if you want news articles that are central. I'll get that app name here soon. It actually shows you what leaning towards, what side that news reporting is leaning towards, left or right, and some are very central. People need to Be vocal and keep pushing. Do not silence indie creatives. Do not silence freedom of thought. What you say matters. We don't need social media. Social media needs us. It ties into the, again, dead internet theory. No matter how much they're trying to invest and buy, a very scary statistical number that I've read yesterday is that it was a 7,000 increase of bot communication on the internet. A lot of these shits are just bots and manipulation. Leave, connect, and build. For those who can weather the storm, be vocal, help others, because it's going to continue until something changes, and it is changing.
I think the issue I have with things like, not things like that in particular, but because I've seen different stuff in the chat, and yeah, John said I saw the thing about Fox buying Roku, and my boy Lawrence Noah is talking about it as well. The issue we have is, and Mr. A, I'm not ignoring you at all when it comes to this stuff. You talk about like black funds that are available. The issue isn't the funds, the assets not being there, it's the access to things. When I'm looking at historically, when you're looking at how China was monitored, right, where like their internet was not allowing certain things, they couldn't have certain platforms even allowed in the country. And now I'm seeing a pattern where the Trump administration is buying TikTok. They're buying the biggest game developers in the world, damn near, in EA, or at least one of them. They're buying up the biggest control of IP in the world in Warner Brothers, damn near. And they're not only buying the IP, but now they're buying the rights to the platforms to stream those things on like Roku. You're not gonna be able to get shit. In the same way that we thought other countries were third world countries because we never went there because the media never depicted that shit, or the same way that other countries looked at us as being, or at least black people in particular, as being like violent hoodlums because they only saw that kind of shit distributed to them. If this administration can control the floodgates of all kinds of information being distributed, nothing else fucking matters. Because at that point, you just need to leave the country at that point to get the proper information, to get access to certain funds and certain assets that maybe other countries may have. You need to leave America. Because if you think that they're gonna let you do that shit when things like Black Wall Street or the fucking I can't remember the name of the native oil village in Tulsa, other fucking forms of people being in this country trying to build something for themselves in their own communities, which were thriving and they were fucking destroyed. If you think something of the sort won't be fucking done for that, you're highly delusional. If niggas are gerrymandering again, some shit that wasn't even a thing for most of the time after, or at least publicly, unshamefully since the 60s, and they're doing that shit now, you are fucking insane if you don't think the niggas are not gonna burn down any kind of success, be it black or otherwise, if it's independent, if it's not reliant on them.
We cannot LLC ourselves out of liberation in this system. We cannot. You just simply can't. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't strive for better within our confinements, but like Charlie said, every single time we try to do this ourselves, they burn it down or they get rid of it or whatever the case may be. So like this idea of black capitalism being like, oh, we just need to all be rich and get our own neighborhoods and stuff. They won't allow that.
And we're getting to a point where there's no competition, and competition is healthy because it makes people want, and it makes people act ethically because your dollar is not guaranteed to them. And Action Pack brought it up too, like Bob Iger intending to sell Disney to someone like maybe like Amazon or Apple. Brother, if Amazon gets Disney and they merge Amazon Prime or Amazon streaming into fucking Disney Plus, gang, and there's like it's shit like that kills me. It's shit like that kills me. So you gotta like both to even get to anything indie or anything like that. You gotta have accessibility to a lot of things, and that's again, it's not just an indie creator and an indie comic book creator, things of that nature. But the biggest issue with the indie space is accessibility. And if all the platforms that are most prevalent or that are the easiest to access are now not allowing certain types of content or certain types of messaging, you're gonna have a fucking issue.
Hi, your internet tech guy who sits at his computer all day and dives into a deep hole of depression because I can't stop reading articles. So everything that we're seeing as far as Paramount has already been in the process. Come to find out, everyone knows I like myself a good link to press on the Facebook because every time it shows up, I'm going to press it. So and I want to lead in with a joke because this is a serious matter. If we see that what's going on with adult content They are requesting that you upload your identification to utilize something on the internet. Why are you, Nick? Why are you bringing that up? Because they are using children's safety as a way to restrict access to different types of platforms.
Yep.
Now, what you do in the dark, as long as it's adult consensual, do you play boy? But as of yesterday, 24 hours ago, and probably going to hear something here with the next few hours because it's going to be daylight, UK declares under 16 social media ban to protect children. That is going to be something they're going to push heavy for. And that's something that's probably going to be coming over here as well. Yeah. Why is that an issue? Again, they are using children to roll out different restrictions on the internet. I cannot wait until we go into the dead internet theory because this again ties into that. The internet used to be a platform where social interaction was amazing. You had platforms that were very creative. You had forums where people were talking to humans, actual human beings. Facebook was a creative platform where people learned how to code and didn't know it. Most of us copy and paste, but I'm proud of y'all. But again, this is something that's already been in play that people need to pay attention to. So again, see y'all niggas on the seas and get your Jack Sparrow on. Do not support any of this. Go crazy. But no, like acts like this is being rolled out. Restrictions are going on. We've already seen countries that are doing it now. China, certain parts of the Middle East. You know, there's things in the skies that can block any type of internet access that won't get information in or out unless you go there, like Charlie was speaking of. There is a trillionaire now who has an abundance of money to do some.
You see that, I can't remember what particular city rolled this out, but it was a monitoring device that is supposed to look at your particular phone, like either your phone signal and cross-reference through your Bluetooth other things you're connected to. So it's saying essentially it's going to help to identify who you are when you're in traffic, whatever it may be, by saying, oh, well, you have a Bluetooth in your car and you're also connected to a iPad or you're connected to this other thing too. And because there's a unique like pattern, they don't believe people would have the same amount of devices or the same devices connected. They're saying, oh, this is just a way for us to monitor you for your safety, but not monitor your personal information.
No, but I did watch something last night where they're actually going to see if they can get into phone companies where they can see what type of information that you're privy to in your phone and what you're reading and what you're sharing. That is something that I did see last night. I can't find the article, but that's something I read and actually seen a YouTube video on that. So that's the thing.
Yeah, we are. Y'all remember Civil War II, the comic? We're getting very close to that whole like guilty before you're actually guilty, where you're just completely tracked and monitored. You do one thing that it's projected based off this algorithm that you're going to do a crime even though you haven't done it yet. This is where this is leading, man. This is where this is going.
There's man, I don't know if y'all saw, but I believe it was a man in I think either North or South Carolina that got locked up because AI identified him, spent a month in jail there, then got shipped off to Florida for 2 more months because of AI. But the AI was wrong. There is a documentary that I watched 7 years ago that I try to put people on. A shout out to Nick Perry. That actually talks about how the fail rate of AI identifies Black people because of our features. It has a 87% fail rate. So, again, we're talking about what's going on with Paramount. All this shit is tying in. Try to stop it. Shout out to the people in New York. I think it was California as well. That's trying to fight against that. But please.
We talked about it
Patriot
before.
Act, yes, the Patriot Act, yes.
We talked about it before off stream. But, bruh, it's about to be irreparable damage that's about to happen. That's going to take more time than we're going to be on this earth to fix after Agent Orange is out of office. Like the shit that he's doing and the way he's consolidating power within his own people, either we're going to get to a point where we're going to have to be on some French Revolution shit and roll out the fucking guillotines, or or we're just gonna have to pray to God that we get the right people in office to like turn this shit around after the fact. Like I'm hoping the fall is a good sign of like seas changing and maybe impeaching this nigga and sending certain people to prison so we can get shit on the road. But it's about to get real nasty, bro. Because again, the damage being done is shit that's not gonna be fixed until after me and Jordan are in the ground.
And as of right now, the repercussion of the strait being closed can't recover until about like another 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, I don't think people really realize that. It's like, yeah, it's not like the war's over and it gets go back. No, because there's still mines in the strait too they have to get rid of. Like there's so anyway, you're right. I think this can't sustain. People's wages can't sustain. Like none of this, all the stuff that's going on, everybody knows is bad. But at some point, even the conservatives who think like, oh, Trump's going to solve this, it's just like you start looking and it's like he's not solving these problems. Well, we've kicked the immigrants out and we've done all this stuff, and I saying still can't pay my bills, still can't eat my food. I'm just like, there's going to be a point. There is a breaking point here for everybody. We've already hit there, but there's going to be a lot of folks who are just like, I'm willing to do anything.
And real quick, we have it, so you know we got to do it.
Is that off of?
Yeah, Mr. A, and for people that are unaware what this is a super chat. If you guys want to support and get comments done, everything will be paused to read your super chat because I appreciate any kind of financial investment in the channel we have going on. Mr. A says, all empires fall. It will be a civil war here soon, and I do not disagree. You can only push people so far before they break. And to your point, democracy only works when you have a lower class that you can exploit and get things out of. But if we get to a point where you're pushing people to the point where they can't survive or eat anymore, best believe they gonna run into them houses. In the same way that niggas got real scared when that nigga Luigi put up on that one health insurance fucking CEO, we're gonna see a lot more Luigis pop up if motherfuckers cannot afford to feed themselves or their families on a daily basis.
You're gonna see niggas getting kirked.
Yeah, once niggas are at a point to where the McDonald's jobs can't even get them like 4 to feed their babies or like keep houses, keep room, niggas are about to be out here on these streets robbing niggas. And best believe we know where the bougie neighborhoods are. We know where you live, nigga. You can't hide. Y'all got money, but you don't got trouble. You don't got no bunkers, nigga. We gonna find you. Allegedly in GTA.
Yeah, and when that comes out, if that comes out
in GTA.
I will say this. It is the literacy rate in this country is very high. I need people to read. I need people to understand what's going on. If you want to change something, what are you going to replace it with? There is no system in place. There are tons of conversations of change, but what are we going to put change with? Black capitalism clearly isn't doing shit for us right now. We see people making it, but fuck, what's going on?
Yeah,
no system.
That brunch crowd shit they got going on with the illusion of consolidating the black dollar down to one thing. That again, that's just in my world where I kind of view it. That's just more Eurocentric thought processes of we'll just have black elites now instead of all blacks together. We'll have black elites that will now dictate everything versus a unified effort. But it's just
we need people. My personal opinion, I need more people to read, and we need more open discussions on how to implement different systems. What are you going to put in place of something that you want to replace? So it's a lot to unfold. It's a lot to look into. It's not going to happen overnight. There's a tool set. AI sucks, but at the same time, it can be used to build something that isn't just something that can just do generative AI. You can actually build something that is of use. I highly suggest people that have the opportunity watch the AI doc. It's a phenomenal documentary. Shout out to Charlie for forcing me to get into indie title movies. I am now addicted to them. So you have a
I know.
chat there.
I was waiting for you to finish your thought process.
I'll stop for that, man. I'll carry my thoughts on that. That's $20, man. Show them love.
Shout out to the homie Action Packed FTW for the 20 ball. My boy says violence is what the 1% wants. That's why they all own bunkers. Peaceful revolution is possible, but we have to overwhelmingly vote progressive to. So I can't speak today. So they can have a mandate to change everything that needs to be changed. I agree. I think it is possible, but once you push people to the point to where survival is a struggle for them and a decision, like if you have to struggle, if you cannot survive, right now we're at a point where it's like, all right, you have to pick between eating your food and hobbies. If we get devolved to the point to where we have to choose between eating food one day or fucking paying rent to have a roof over your head, motherfuckers are going to get violent. Because at that point it's leading to death. Because if you can't afford to eat, you can't afford any medical fucking bills. You can't afford anything that you would need to survive. If we get to that point to where death is happening, violence is inevitable. And again, that's part of the reason why you're looking at certain things, and that's part of why I believe there's a lot of conversational shit around the around stuff like the Chow case. Or all the No Kings protest shit, to where you saw black folks minted when they said we're not showing up to this bullshit anymore. And I honestly, it feels like black folks are being baited into acting in a way that can be perceived as aggression, so that we can do things like some of the National Guard. But because black folks are just tired and not showing up to this shit, or just seeing it as something they just don't want to do anymore, motherfuckers are trying to find new ways to fucking like rage bait black folks. In my mind, again, that's my own headcanon, but I just find it very odd that we're getting so much more bullshit like the Carmelo Anthony case, like the Chow case, shit like that. This very, very obviously one way. Again, it's been a historical thing as well, as far as black folks not getting proper justice, but the way shit is publicized and reported now just seems like it's done in a way to try to get black folks more angry. Yeah. And like rage bait us into doing some shit. Especially when we know that this nigga Trump has already like looked to call in the National Guard to certain cities and shit for like ICE, whatever it may be. They would love to have black folks in droves show up at the front lines where they could just light us the fuck up and say that we were acting in violence.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, the media purpose do that too. Like rage bait sales clicks. So like I'll say it's intentional, but even if it's not intentional, all this is doing is feeding people's anger and frustration. And when you look at the media, all you see is anger and frustration. So like it just kind of builds and builds and builds. And that's why like people say you got to stop doom scrolling, because their whole intent is to like feed into that fear. So you keep on reading, keep on following these pits, keep on believing that, you know, black folks or queer folks are horrible people, or trans folks are horrible people. It's just like you gotta get out of the soup, bro.
And y'all go ahead, my bad.
It's if you pay attention, you will see who on an international level is disliked. All you have to do is pay attention. All you have to do is read. Like that has done wonders. And stop doom scrolling so you won't be pissed off. But read the facts. Look at the facts. Read history. History, they cannot change that. There are plenty of books. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I sound like my fucking mama. Go to the fucking library, get a history book, read long forms of informational articles, news articles that are very central. They give you all types of facts. Be informed. Develop a plan. Network. It's very dire right now. And also, this is for the niggas. The national average salary for Americans is $60,000. Let me say this again. The national average for Americans in salary is $60,000.
That shit sounds a little high too. I ain't gonna hold you.
It is. I'm going like.
Is that? Yeah, but I say, is that household or each person?
I would say household. Like person is lower. It's slower. Like if it's individual, like it's just, you know what I'm saying. But we need to realize all that extra banzu shit that y'all glorify on the fucking interwebs is not a fucking reality. That's not normal. That shit's not normal. Okay? It's not. And you have to normalize just living life. Please.
I hear people that are bringing up Africa in a way to get over there. But the issue that we have is that there are a lot of people who are privileged to have the ability to move and uplift their life and go to another country. The people that are being harmed by this stuff the most, the people that are working the minimum wage jobs, the people that are benefiting from things like food stamps and things like that, they don't have the proper resources to, one, go in an effective manner and get your passport, let alone to get plane tickets to go across the country and move them and their families there, and then find a way to substantially benefit and live there. Although these countries are not like third world countries, like they brought up, like media coverage is not accurate in regards to looking at Africa as a third world country, or even a lot of the South American countries, whatever it may be. They're great and they have structure even in China. But again, I promise you, if America saw a massive influx of Americans getting passports, they would make that shit damn near impossible for you to leave. You saw certain shit in airports where they had ICE in airports. I promise you, they gonna make sure niggas cannot leave this country if everybody's trying to leave in droves.
Well, I know there's another super chat, but I do want to say,
I'm gonna get to that.
I do want to say, kind of to the point we were talking about earlier about people using the protection of children to push through like real heinous acts. Like, I don't know if y'all saw, but like the U.S. passed to where if you have, I think, over $100,000 in like child support payments that you do, they can just revoke your passport. Yeah. And everybody was like, "Oh, that's a good thing because beat that should pay." But my instant thought was like, okay, if they can do that, they can do anything. They can just say, "Oh, you have more than $10,000 in student loan debt. Sorry, we're going to take your passport. You can't leave the country." Like, they can do that.
And that's it's crazy. That's probably the average amount of student loan debt is what?
$30,000.
Yeah, gang.
That's how I'm like.
Knowing most niggas aren't going to ever go pay that shit back. Yeah, get into the super chat again. Shout out to my boy Action Back FTW, but he got big pockets this stream apparently, and I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. You were making life a lot easier when it comes to making content and getting stuff done, especially when it comes to these comic books. My boy says here, we need to abolish the Electoral College, add term limits to the Supreme Court, get money out of politics, and we need immigration and infrastructure reform. But most importantly, we need a UBI and universal health care. I agree with all that stuff. I think one of the worst things that ever happened to this country is the idea of lobbying. Once I went to go lobby myself and saw and found out through like speaking to people within Congress on staffers, staffers that are working for congressional members, and realizing that we were lobbying in the fact that we were going up there in physical, setting up a meeting with the staffers and speaking to them, like that was considered lobbying. But I got irritated once I found out as well that companies and corporations can just put a shit ton of money into a congressional member's pocket, and that also counts as lobbying. And they can sway their decision to vote on certain bills and certain things by just putting money in their pocket. So you as a congressional member, you as a congressman can be like, you know what, I'll make on average maybe like $60,000 a year for salary, whatever it may be, and say, you know what, it's not enough money for me. I'm going to accept $200 million from Apple to vote in a way that benefits them as far as these policies go. Like, getting money out of lobbying is something that's fucking drastically important, in my opinion. Getting money out of again, most of this governmental shit should not be increased money. Like, you should be set on a fixed income. You should not be allowed to accept any kind of bribery or any kind of outside funds towards you. That should be a governmental federal law. That if I am in power and I have the ability to sway the way things work in this country through my vote on bills or getting bills passed, I should not be able to accept outside money from an outside entity.
I have two things because I've seen people talking about getting their passports going overseas and their experiences. I went to the islands. I went to Jamaica. I went to Montego Bay. I can just say this. I said on live stream, they have the same power of the currency. We will be in the hole for some of these smaller countries, just on their import on tourism and their way of living. That's all I have to say on that. Two, to those who want to go to Africa, who are interested, my question will simply be, what are you going to do when you get over there? What is your plan? What are you going to do when you get there? Are you going to adjust to the culture that's there and help develop more? Are you going to interject your basic American lives that are European based and try and influence that over there. You have to restructure yourself. You have to unlearn what you've been learning your entire life. When I go to places outside the country, the resort is me being Americanized. I want to get in the streets. I want to see the day to day. What are y'all doing? I want to learn. So if you want to learn and better the environment, what skill sets can you go over there and do? English, bet, be a teacher. Are you a trades worker? Bet, they need electrical infrastructure. Bam, let's go ahead and implement that. Teachings, like that's how you change. That's how you go and make a difference and live. Like a lot of people want to go over and live a luxury lifestyle and stunt on the internet. It's all over YouTube. There's plenty of videos of like I'm living on this high rise in Thailand off of my basic
$400 a week or $400 a month.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, then you're looking at people that's suffering over there. You're not changing anything. You're just spreading the poison that's here elsewhere. And you feel entitled for them not to have certain things that you expect here. That is frustrating.
Jordan has said it a lot on and off stream, and it's probably one of the truest statements he's ever said. People do not want to end oppression. They want to end their oppression. As long as they are able to have the amenities and the things that they love that are similar to where they come from, they are fine. And I feel as though there are a lot of people that speak from a privileged position. If you're someone who is a second generation immigrant or someone who has a cultural tie to Africa or Trinidad or Haiti or wherever it may be, you have a direct tie in there. You have the safety net of like going back home and having connection to that culture. We understand that most Black folks in America, we are far removed from our roots to Africa, especially if you're somebody that is, again, in the lower class who does not have, like maybe at max is like a high school degree, but doesn't have a lot of, let's say, educational things that can help them if they go to a different country. Because to your point, I'm looking from a realistic lens, right? Let's say I'm somebody that works at McDonald's, I have 2 kids, and I'm a single mother, or bare minimum, let's say I'm a parent who has, I'm a 2-parent household, right? I have a father help me raise my children. And now we uproot myself and my kids and move to Africa, to say Nigeria, more, I guess at least that's one of the more developed cities that I'm aware of. Now I'm there in which I don't have any education that's local to the area. I don't have any idea on the infrastructure, how that country works. I got to find a job and find a way to provide for myself and my family there. And I have to do that shit very quickly because we're here now. There's no place I can't go back home to my mother or father and crash at their place till I get back on my feet. No, I'm just here. We're just here homeless. So unless there's some kind of mass agenda from Africa themselves in which they're going to like give out some kind of a loan to Black Americans that migrate over there or some shit like that to help us out, I just don't see that as a reliable thing to do. If you're one person, maybe I can you could thug it out, sleep outside, sleep on a bench and figure that shit out. But if you're a parent and you have a family, you're not relocating your family to a whole other country, and especially in which, like, even let's say you're middle class, right? You have a college education. Your college education don't mean shit in a different country. Your work experience over here don't mean shit to a different country.
Yeah. Like Mr. A, me and you go ahead and sit down and talk. I'm gonna pick your brain one time for the one time. But I mean, hell, everything I said about trying to infrastructure and big trade skills, I mean, we need it here. Our infrastructure is third world. It's open, it's wide open to be fucked whenever someone wants to. We get hacked every goddamn day, every other day. So
last thing I'll say, brother, we are around 250 years old as a country. There are not too many empires that last past 250 years. The Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, like those, they all collapse around 250. And usually for around the same reasons, people that get dictatorship or oligarchic power and control how things go. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, yeah, we're at a point now where we're starting to look real similar to other shit. And I'll say the French survived. And guess what the French had at one point? A revolution where they fucking brought out the guillotines and fucking heads rolled. Now, again, to my boy Action Pack's point, things can be handled peacefully. But that's going to take a lot of communication and a lot of people acquiescing. And first and foremost, people admitting they were wrong. Because the only way to improve upon shit is to admit there's a problem, first and foremost. And motherfuckers that are still drinking the Trump Kool-Aid will not admit that there's a problem. Or if there is a problem, it's somebody else's fault and not his. So there's no accurate way to figure out how to change things going forward.
Yep.
Yeah, I can only speak for my experience. Action Pack. I spoke with Charlie plenty of times. I have work that I've done that I'm doing as far as with Ghana specifically, with their agriculture, building an app with a few developers over there, and I'm doing it because I love technology. I just want to create. A lot of the things I've done I haven't gotten paid for, but I like to see how far I can push my mind and how I can influence change. Just to see what I can do to help influence like something of a difference. But I mean, I agree. Instead of going there without a plan, I mean, there's options here. There are options here, and I don't want to say I don't like being the doom and gloom. There's hope. There's a lot of positives going on. Like there's a lot of positive. It's just again the negative is so loud and people are so tired that that's all they see and hear. But there is global greatness going on right now. There is a phenomenal influence of people making a difference. You can have these conversations that we're having on this platform here. It doesn't even have to be public. It can be private. You just have to do your due diligence. Again, read a book, talk about the book. Ethics of AI. I'm the tech guy, so when they have questions, I'm usually the one that informs them. If I don't answer it, then I definitely get back to them later. Like play your part on building and informing. If you don't know, it's okay to be corrected by someone who's been there or from that country. You just have to be. People need to put their pride to the side and be willing to be wrong and be willing to learn. And if you're informing someone, if they're not being disrespectful, please find a way to convey your message so they understand where you're coming from. Because again, the literacy rate here is so so low that people don't understand what the fuck you're saying. So if you are able to convey that message to a level that they understand, maybe we can get somewhere. So,
and I'll say this because I've seen again some more stuff in the chat. First and foremost, I'm not against being wrong in regards to other countries, policies, things of that nature. If you guys can point me towards an article or an initiative that countries like Africa or any other part in the world have to where someone from the diaspora can move there and have guaranteed housing for at least a certain amount of time to get on their feet, I'm more than welcome to be wrong because that is something amazing. If they are offering free housing to people from across the world to come there and stay for a certain amount of time, because again, it's not just going to be a day thing. I'm moving to an entirely new place. I need to figure out where to get work, where to get food. And then somebody else brought up a good point. I have to then adapt my language because again, most countries in Africa probably aren't going to speak English as their native language. I have to now learn an entirely new language to learn how to navigate this area. I have to figure out a lot of shit going to a new place. But again, at bare minimum, if housing can be provided for me for a certain amount of time while I get back on my feet as a person, cool. And although, yeah, somebody said college degrees work everywhere, I promise you, when you go to a different country, they're not going to perceive American education in the same way that Americans do in regards to the credibility of how competent you are in the work you do. At bare minimum, at least if you're doing work that isn't like bare bones work. If it's like office work, sure, fine. But if it's work that requires, like, let's say you're somebody that is, we'll say a doctor or a pharmacist or things like that, things that are very important into society, maybe they take it, but I promise you they're not looking at your education in the same level as they're looking at somewhere from their own country. But again, I could be wrong. Again, if I'm wrong, y'all let me know, but that's just, Ghana speaks English, gang? Yeah, people speak English. Again, how many countries are there in Africa, gang?
There's a lot. There's villages. We can talk off stream, but like I've been blessed. This was again someone knowing me for technology. I was able to work on different avenues where I'm like, this can help with tech. So any information, like you got different villages, you have middle people who communicate between the villages if there's a language barrier, who are very fluent in very different dialects. But Ghana is definitely one of those, like, hey, it's there. It's definitely one of those leading ones. So I highly suggest, even if you just want to travel, go out there, man. You know what I'm saying? I agree with Mr. A. Do your due diligence. Like the fear of research is real. It's not. I'm telling you, people, right now, it's going to challenge what you believe in, and that's okay. It's to be willing to learn. Just learn. It's okay to learn.
And even just last thing on the housing thing again, if you're not providing free housing, how do you expect a family to survive? If it's one person, I get it. I can find a park bench or something. But if I am a family of 4 people moving to a brand new country and I have no work experience in the country, I have no money to move, because 9 times out of 10, if they're a family like that moving there, all their money was spent to get there. So how do you expect us to sleep, or where do you expect us to sleep? Because at that point, you're going to have a massive homeless populace moving to this country. And you're going to have Africa or whatever the country is you're moving to invest in providing resources for those homeless people there. And I don't see a lot of countries wanting to take on a bunch of homeless populace. Maybe, we'll see. But I don't know, man. Well, again, I don't want this to sound so doom and gloom. I don't want it to sound so doom and gloom. There, to my boy's point, there is hope in all this stuff. It's just a lot of bullshit every day that's served to us in the algorithm. And I think part of it is purposeful. But again, there is hope in how things operate. I do think if we show up in droves and mobilize into the voting booth, things can change. I think as long as we're vocal about the things that we want to change, as much as we are about other bullshit like Streamer University, I think things can change. I think there is hope on the horizon, but it's just a matter of fighting through it and staying strong throughout everything.
You have to take it's a grassroots effort. Conversations like this, read a fucking book, do research, read what's going internationally, network with people. The internet made the world very small. If you have the opportunity to network with somebody, use it. Okay, use it. There's hope. There's change happening. Even on a local level, like look locally. You guys do you two. I commend the both of you gentlemen. I haven't said this publicly, JP, just from conversation from heard. You guys know the numbers and statistics on your local level and how to be involved. That right there is commendable and doing way more than just somebody spewing the same regurgitated bullshit viral moment. You guys come on here with stats and numbers. I know Charlie for a fact that he's a numbers guy. If the numbers make sense, it makes sense. If it don't, he's gonna be like, nah, that's bullshit. That comes because he hate old niggas talking about basketball. But that's another story.
To an extent, you gonna have niggas think I just hate all old niggas as a whole when it comes to basketball. To an extent.
He hates old niggas like Bob Cousy ain't doing shit with Steph Curry.
Oh, that's for a fact, nigga. Come on now. Let's not. Come on, brother. Come on now. Koozie would think that shit is fucking wizardry, nigga. He ain't never seen that shit like that before in his life.
Right. But no, man, it's hard conversations like this. There are going to be people who are aggressive, like Mr. A in the chat. Like, he's very aggressive. I see his aggression in the chat, and he's very right in his stance on what people need to do. He's done this research. He wants other people. He's very vocal on that. Listen to those individuals. Let them give you information. You make the decision on your own. Like, I do that. But do not be scared of what you read. Be informative. Do not be fearful of information. Be encouraging to learn new things and use that to power your mind to be creative. Everything that you learn as nerds who come to these platforms, that come see Charles with DC, can be used to pass on a message in a comic book strip, in a video game, in a TV show, in a movie. A lot of you don't know this. Happy Feet is a fucking movie about revolution. It's wild. I'm a kid thinking, all right, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking Happy Feet. I get older, I'm like, what the fuck? So use this. You know what I'm saying? So do your closing thing. Just do this. Let's have a great rest of the fucking week.
Yeah. Again, for anybody that is new to the stream, to Sheezy, I think I may have seen Sheezy one in here before. I can't. You remind me, brother. If you're not new, then I apologize. But for the newer faces to the stream, this is the Captain's Lounge. This is a stream that I do every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. On this channel, Captain Diesel's Dojo, I do 3 different things. On Tuesdays, you'll get a stream. This stream in particular. Sunday, you'll get a stream called Pull List Therapy, where myself and some other contemporaries talk about everything comics and comic book industry and comic book news. That is at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. And you guys usually get 2 video drops from me a week. I got done bulk recording some stuff for the next couple of weeks, so I'm finishing up my rounds of Black indie comic creators in regards to interviews, because I made it a point after all the bullshit with the DC So White stuff to make it a point to support. We made it a point during the campaign, but I'm making it even more so on my personal channel to make sure that I'm highlighting Black writers and creatives that I think are amazing in this industry. So what I will let you guys know is I think this Thursday I'm interviewing M. Shai Dash and her work with Fumes, issue 1 and 2. Amazing looking Black writer. And I'm excited to talk to her about that book. I also, in me finishing reading up Philadelphia and reading up Crownsville, I reached out to the team of Rodney Barnes, and I was able to secure a interview with him this Friday. So you guys will probably get both of those videos at some point next week as I get them kind of cleaned up and edited, but I'm excited to speak to them. Yeah, this is some great stuff coming. And then after that, I also have other videos that's back to my typical way of me viewing and analyzing media and things of that nature. So you guys will get that. But yeah. I'm tired. It's been a long ass day. Working my ass.
Check out my stream, Cyber Dad on Twitch.
I got that linked in the comment in the description below for people too that are looking for it. It's in the description.
Catch me on the weekends. I'll be streaming with the guys, Destiny. We'll have some really good conversation, even trivia. We'll be going this weekend for sure, more to dead internet theory. And then I'll be talking about certain projects that I've been involved in on a local level and things I plan on doing in technology. And it's an open platform. There's no hold bars on my Twitch channel. I don't care to be monetized. That is my creative let out. Because my friends and everyone say you got too much on your plate. But I'm like, this is where I can just let all that shit out, and I don't have to. I believe in free speech, and free speech should be talked about everything on there. And so I'm not censored. So you guys want to come through? Link in the bio. Come check me out. If you want to hang, play some video games, or just want to chill, and, shoot your shits, let me know.
Jay, what you got?
Actually, the only plug I have is very similar. The Cyber Dad here. I do a lot of internet technology stuff for work as well, and actually, we do a podcast talking about it called Unbuffered, and I was just on there today talking about.
What, they let you about the basement? They let you off the editor floor?
Yeah. I came to the forefront. Talk a little bit about SpaceX IPO, how it's kind of a scam, how Elon's kind of a scam. So I was able to kind of hop on there, make some points. So if you want to hear me talk about that, because that's a lot going on right now, and everybody should care about that, because whether you like it or not, if you have a 401k, the index funds are going to actually put SpaceX in there, whether you like it or not. So you need to know about it. Yeah, I know. That's a whole other, that could be a whole other topic. But I'm talking about that on Unbuffered. That's the podcast name. It's everywhere you get podcasts. So you want to hear me yap about something, else, like I'm on there as well. So
yeah, and y'all keep a lookout for Echelon graphic novels again. Things are coming in my own writing endeavors. I have stuff that is en route. I have 2 scripts that are done, one of which is in production. The Reaper issue 2 is in a mid-coloring phase now. That'll be on the way very soon. I got a horror series that is based around based around Oscarville here in North Georgia. It's gonna be a horror story. So if you guys know the history of Oscarville, you kind of know what to expect there. Have some fun with it. And then the 3rd script for Reaper issue 3 is also done. And then also I'm finishing up a crossover comic script with my boy Ernie Blair Without Fear. So you guys know it here first that there will be a crossover comic with my book and his book, Heart of Darkness. So there's a lot of comics that I've been writing and getting together, but it's just a matter of me honestly just paying for the shit. I ain't gonna hold you. Shit is expensive. Making comics, making books, making media, making art is an expensive endeavor, but I love it. So, we're gonna keep doing it. But again, this has been episode 55 of the Captain's Lounge. Thank you to everybody that has shown up. Thank you to everybody that has been active in the chat. Thank you to everybody that's been, challenging thought processes. Because even if it seems as though we're not agreeing with you guys or we're not taking to everything you're saying into account, I promise you, I'm taking to what you say into account. I like to have conversation here. I like to have open, nuanced conversation here. So again, as long as y'all not on no some grifter shit, or you tap dancing, you cool in the comments for me. I ain't tripping. I'm not against being wrong. Oh yeah, if y'all tap dancing in the comment section, y'all ain't gonna be here much long. I ain't gonna hold you. You're going to be arguing with yourself. I don't do tap dancing around here, brother. I'm sorry. But I don't think I have too much to worry about with the people in the chat with that today. So that'd be somebody else that maybe pops in new.
And for Jon Stewart, I'm the oldest nigga here, so just know that.
Yeah, Jon Stewart, that's the homie, bro. I fuck with Jon. That's my nigga.
I'm 33, so
and
I act like I'm 40.
And thank you, John, for letting everybody know. If you have not liked the stream at this point on the way out, please do so to help this get promoted. Also, on top of something that is liking the video, I guess is probably also honestly more important, hyping the videos. If you are watching this after the fact on mobile, if you go to the comment section and scroll from right to left, you'll get the ability to add hype points to a video. Hype points at this point are a thing that YouTube put out that is supposed to be a tool for helping creators that are like under 500,000 subs grow really quickly. And I will say this is a feature that is very strong. If you hype a video and a video gets a lot of hypes, especially early on in the video's like cycle, the video performs very well. And it helps your channel get shown a lot. I've had a lot of growth this past month or two since I've been promoting that a lot more heavier. So if y'all doing that, help your boy out. But again, it's been episode 55, y'all. We will see y'all this Sunday, bright and early at 9 p.m. Eastern for another Police Therapy. And then you'll get one more video from me. I think the interview with, who is this coming out this Thursday? It's either an interview or going to be, I don't know. I gotta go to my editor to find out what I'm dropping this Thursday or Friday. I mean, I usually put up videos on Mondays and Fridays, but you know, I'm kind of all over the place. I may get to the point that I need to take a week off at some point and just kind of breathe because I've been going nonstop and a nigga's tired. I need a vacation or some shit or something. I'm rambling. Bye, y'all. Peace. Gotta be easy.
Come and play with me. We control it like how you play with me. We gon' hold it down. Come and play with me.